before the great deluge, before the chronicles of humanity were etched in stone, there lived a man intimately acquainted with the divine, a soul whose earthly bonds were too frail to contain him. Earth could not hold him back. His name resonated with purpose. Enoch, the seventh descendant from Adam, a beacon of truth in a world shrouded in shadows. To Enoch were unveiled secrets, hidden even from the celestial hosts and earthly monarchs. He witnessed the celestial ballet of the heavens, the tragic downfall of the Watchers, and prophecies yet to unfold, prophecies that echoed even into the present age. I am Enoch. These are the sacred words, the blessing entrusted to me, not for my own time, but for a generation yet to come, for the chosen and righteous who will inherit the earth during a time of immense tribulation, for the elect and the righteous, who will live in the days of great tribulation when the wicked and the godless are removed from the earth. I was a righteous man, and by divine grace, my eyes were opened to realms unseen. The words I now speak are not born of my own understanding, but are visions granted by the Holy One, revealed through the celestial messengers. From them, I heard all, and through them, I comprehended the tapestry of events unfolding before me. But these visions were not meant for the ears of my contemporaries. They were destined for a future age, a time still veiled in the mists of destiny. So I lifted my voice, a solitary cry in the wilderness, and spoke concerning the elect. I saw the Holy and Great One come forth from his dwelling. The eternal God descended, his presence shaking the very foundations of existence, and set his foot upon the earth, upon Mount Sinai. He materialized in the fullness of his power, descending from the highest reaches of heaven, and a profound dread enveloped all creation. The Watchers, those celestial observers, trembled in fear, and a violent shaking convulsed the farthest corners of the earth. The towering mountains crumbled and shattered. The majestic hills dissolved, melting like wax consumed by an all-devouring flame. The earth itself was rent asunder. Everything that had been concealed was now exposed. Nothing remained hidden from his gaze. Judgment descended upon all. Yet, with the righteous he forged a bond of peace. He sheltered the chosen, and his mercy rested upon them. They were his, and God claimed them as his own. They flourished, blessed beyond measure. Light pierced through the oppressive darkness, and the Holy One extended his peace to them. Then I saw it. He came with 10,000 of his holy ones, a celestial army descending to execute judgment upon the earth, to obliterate the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of every wicked deed they had committed, and of every defiant word spoken against him. This is what I witnessed. This is what was revealed to me, and this is what is yet to come, the story of creation. I was granted a glimpse into the order of creation, and I was commanded to observe its intricate workings. I gazed into the heavens and beheld the perfect orchestration of celestial movements. The stars held their courses and did not deviate. The celestial lights rose and set in their divinely appointed seasons. None dared to stray from their ordained path. None transgressed the boundaries assigned to them. Then I turned my gaze earthward. From the dawn of time to its eventual twilight, I observed the works unfolding upon the earth, and they remained steadfast and unwavering. Nothing upon the earth deviated from its intended purpose. All the works of God stood before humanity as an irrefutable testament to his divine order. I witnessed the procession of the seasons, the transition from summer's warmth to winter's chill. I saw the earth nourished by waters, clouds gathering above, dew and rain descending upon the parched ground, each according to its appointed time. I observed the harshness of winter, when the trees appeared lifeless, stripped bare of their verdant leaves. Yet, some defied the season's grip, retaining their foliage, clinging to the old leaves until the new ones emerged in their due season. And again, I beheld the days of summer, when the sun reigned supreme, blazing with unparalleled strength. People sought respite in the shade, seeking shelter from its searing heat. The ground itself seemed to burn, and even stone became untouchable due to the sun's fiery intensity. I witnessed the trees cloaking themselves once more in vibrant green, bearing fruit in their designated season. and I understood that every work followed the command of the one who exists for all eternity. Nothing is without purpose. Nothing is devoid of order. Year after year, his works continued without alteration. They did not falter, they did not rebel. They executed precisely what they were ordained to do. I watched the seas and the rivers as well. They obeyed their boundaries, fulfilling their tasks, never deviating from his command. But then, I was shown something else, a stark contrast to the harmony of creation. I was shown mankind. You were not steadfast. You did not keep the commandments of the Lord. You turned away, your actions stained by transgression. You spoke proud and defiant words against his greatness. Your mouths were unclean. Your hearts hardened, resistant to his divine grace. Because of this, you will find no peace. Your days will be cursed, and the years of your lives will fade away like mist. Your destruction will be remembered as an eternal warning, a chilling reminder of disobedience. Mercy will not find you. Your names will become a curse among the righteous, a symbol of divine retribution. Those who curse will invoke your names as a sign of impending judgment. The godless will be judged by the very fate they have chosen. But I also saw the end of this story, the ultimate redemption and the ultimate reckoning. The righteous will rejoice. Forgiveness will be poured out upon them, a cleansing torrent of divine grace. Mercy, peace, and patience will enfold them, sheltering them from the storms of the world. Salvation will be theirs, a gift freely given, and a beautiful light will rest upon them, illuminating their path. For the sinners, there will be no salvation. The curse will remain, a brand upon their souls. But for the elect, there will be light, joy, and peace, an eternal inheritance. They will inherit the earth, a kingdom prepared for them. Wisdom will be bestowed upon them, guiding their steps. They will live and no longer succumb to sin through pride or rebellion. Those who are wise will walk in humility, acknowledging the source of their blessings. They will not transgress again. They will not dwell in anger or wrath, emotions that corrode the soul. Their days will be completed in peace, a tranquil existence, and their lives will be filled with joy, a symphony of happiness. Their years will multiply in everlasting gladness and peace for all the days of their life. The fallen angels. I was shown how the fall began, the insidious corruption that spread like a disease. When the children of men multiplied upon the earth, daughters were born to them, possessed of captivating beauty and irresistible allure. And the angels, the sons of heaven, saw them, their celestial gaze drawn to earthly beauty. Desire, a potent and forbidden emotion, took hold of them, and they spoke among themselves, hatching a treacherous plan, saying they would take wives from among humanity and raise children of their own, defying the natural order. But their leader, Samjaza, hesitated, a flicker of doubt in his immortal heart. I heard his fear, the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. He knew the magnitude of the sin they were about to commit, a transgression that would ripple through eternity. He warned them that this act would bring great punishment, an unimaginable reckoning, and that he might bear it alone, the scapegoat for their collective transgression. So they answered him with resolve, their voices ringing with defiance. They swore an oath together, a pact sealed in darkness. They bound themselves with curses, each one pledging not to abandon the plan, no matter the cost, no matter the consequences. There were 200 of them, a rogue legion of celestial beings. They descended in the days of Jared upon the summit of Mount Hermon, their arrival heralding an era of darkness. And that mountain was named Hermon because it was there they swore their oath, binding themselves by mutual imprecations, forever linking their destinies. I was shown their leaders, the chiefs among them, the architects of this celestial rebellion. Samjaza stood first, his presence commanding. With him were others, rulers of tens, each commanding those who followed, their loyalties pledged to the cause. Their names were recorded, for heaven does not forget rebellion, every act of defiance etched into the annals of eternity. Each of them took a wife from among the daughters of men, forsaking their celestial nature. They defiled themselves, and they taught humanity forbidden things, secrets meant to remain hidden, charms, and enchantments, manipulating the forces of nature. The cutting of roots, the hidden properties of plants, knowledge that twisted the natural world. The women conceived, their wombs bearing the fruit of this unholy union, and they gave birth to giants, beings of enormous size and strength, a monstrous race that disrupted the balance of the world. They consumed everything mankind produced, their insatiable hunger driving them to desperate measures. When people could no longer sustain them, the giants turned on humanity itself, their monstrous appetites unleashed. I saw them devour men, their savage hunger knowing no bounds. They sinned against birds and beasts, against creeping things and fish, corrupting the natural order. They consumed flesh not meant to be eaten, defying the laws of creation. They drank blood, a gruesome parody of life. Violence filled the earth, a relentless tide of destruction. And the earth itself cried out, accusing the lawless ones, its silent screams rising to the heavens. I was shown how knowledge became corruption, how the pursuit of forbidden secrets led to ruin. Azel taught humanity how to forge weapons, instruments of destruction, swords and knives, shields and armor, empowering them with the means to wage war. He revealed metals hidden in the earth and the skill to shape them, unlocking the earth's fiery heart. He taught the making of ornaments and jewelry, the use of cosmetics, adorning the body, the beautifying of the eyes, and the hunger for precious stones and colors, fueling vanity and greed. And wickedness multiplied, spreading like a virulent plague. Men abandoned restraint, their moral compasses shattered. They were led astray, seduced by the allure of forbidden knowledge. They became corrupt in all their ways, their hearts darkened by sin. Others taught secrets never meant for human minds, unleashing forces they could not control. Samjaza taught enchantments and the cutting of roots, manipulating the delicate balance of nature. Eros revealed how to undo spells, tempting mortals with the power to control their destinies. Barakiha taught the movements of the stars, unraveling the celestial tapestry. Kokabel revealed the constellations, divulging the secrets of the cosmos. Ezekiel explained the knowledge of clouds, manipulating the very weather. Arakiel taught the signs of the earth, deciphering the language of the planet. Shamsiel revealed the paths of the sun, understanding its life-giving power. Sariel revealed the course of the moon, its influence over the tides and the human soul. Knowledge increased, a flood of information unleashed upon the world. But wisdom vanished, replaced by arrogance and a thirst for power. As men perished, consumed by violence and corruption, they cried out, their voices rising from the earth to the heavens, a desperate plea for deliverance. And their cry was heard. This is what I was shown. This is how the corruption of the world began. The seeds of destruction sown by the fallen angels. The intercession of angels. I was shown what happened in heaven when the earth could no longer bear its pain, when the cries of the innocent reached the celestial realm. Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from above, their hearts filled with sorrow and righteous anger. They saw the blood covering the ground, the earth stained by violence. They saw lawlessness spreading across the earth without restraint, a plague consuming all that was good. And they spoke to one another, their voices filled with urgency, saying that the earth, once created for life, now cried out with the voices of the dead rising to the gates of heaven, a chorus of suffering. The souls of men were pleading, demanding that their cause be brought before the Most High, seeking justice for the horrors they had endured. Then the holy ones lifted their voices before the Lord of the ages, their words echoing with power and reverence. They said, Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, your throne endures through all generations. Your name is holy, glorious, and blessed forever. You made all things. Power over all things belongs to you. Nothing is hidden from your sight. They declared what heaven already knew, laying bare the sins of the fallen angels. That Azazel had spread unrighteousness across the earth, revealing secrets that were kept in heaven, knowledge never meant for mankind, disrupting the divine plan. They spoke of Siamjaza, who had been given authority over his companions yet led them into rebellion, betraying his celestial duty. They testified that these angels went into the daughters of men, defiled themselves, and taught sin, corrupting the very essence of humanity. The women bore giants, monstrous offspring, and the earth was filled with blood and corruption, a consequence of their transgression. And now the souls of the dead cried out endlessly because of the violence that covered the world, their lamentations shaking the heavens. The angels asked why these things were permitted and what was to be done, their voices filled with righteous indignation. Then the Most High spoke, his voice resonating with divine authority. The Holy and Great One sent Uriel to the son of Lamech and said, "Go to Noah. Tell him to hide himself, for he is righteous in a world consumed by sin. Reveal to him that the end is coming, that a flood will destroy the earth, a cleansing torrent of divine judgment. Instruct him so that his life and his descendants may be preserved, ensuring the continuation of righteousness." And the Lord spoke again, saying to Raphael, "Bind Uzzah hand and foot, the source of earthly corruption. Cast him into the darkness, a prison of eternal night. Open the desert of Judiel and throw him there, a desolate wasteland. Cover him with jagged stones, a symbol of his broken spirit. Let him see no light, for he has rejected the light of heaven. On the day of judgment, he will be cast into fire, his final and eternal punishment." The Lord commanded that the earth be healed, a restoration of the divine order. That the plague brought by the watchers be undone, erasing the corruption they had wrought. Because the world had been corrupted by the teachings of Azel, to whom all sin was to be ascribed, the architect of humanity's downfall. Then the Lord spoke to Gabriel, commanding him to destroy the offspring of the watchers, to turn them against one another so that they would perish in battle, their monstrous reign brought to an end. Their fathers would not be heard, their voices silenced forever. Their hope of long life would be cut short, their existence extinguished. And the Lord spoke to Michael, saying, "Bind Samjaza and those with him, the leaders of the celestial rebellion. When their sons destroy one another, bind the watchers for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth until the final judgment, a period of repentance and reflection. Then they will be cast into the abyss of fire and imprisoned forever, their transgressions finally judged. All wicked spirits were to be removed, banished from the earthly realm. All corruption was to be wiped from the earth, cleansed by the flood. Righteousness and truth were to be planted, nurtured, and cultivated. And they would flourish forever, a new era of peace and harmony. I was shown the world that would follow, a vision of hope amidst the devastation. The righteous would survive, carried through the storm by divine grace. They would live long lives in peace, a reward for their unwavering faith. The earth would be cultivated in righteousness and filled with blessing, a bountiful harvest for those who honored the Lord. Trees would flourish, their branches reaching towards the heavens. Vines would yield abundance, their fruit a symbol of prosperity. Every seed would multiply beyond measure, a testament to God's generosity. Oil and wine would overflow, nourishing both body and soul. Oppression would be erased, its dark shadow banished from the earth. Sin would be removed, its corrupting influence eradicated. Godlessness would be destroyed, its power broken forever. All nations would worship the Most High, united in their devotion. The earth would be cleansed forever, its sins washed away. Then the Lord said that he would open the storehouses of heaven, pouring blessing upon the labor of mankind, rewarding their faithfulness. Truth and peace would walk together through every generation, guiding humanity towards a brighter future. Before these things, I was hidden, shielded from the world's corruption. No one among men knew where I was, where I lived, or what had become of me, for I was under divine protection. My days were spent among the holy ones, learning their ways and witnessing their power. My work concerned the watchers, their fate intertwined with my own. And I, Enoch, blessed the Lord of Majesty, the King of the ages, praising his name for all eternity. Then the watchers called to me, seeking my aid in their desperate plight. They called me Enoch, the scribe of righteousness, acknowledging my integrity and my connection to the divine, and commanded me to speak to those who had abandoned heaven, defiled themselves with women, and lived like men, succumbing to earthly desires. I was sent to declare to them that they had brought destruction upon the earth and that they would find no peace or forgiveness, their transgressions too great to be absolved. I told them that they would watch the destruction of their own children and grieve forever, witnessing the consequences of their rebellion. But mercy would not come to them, their fate sealed by their own actions. I spoke directly to Azel and told him there would be no peace for him, his name forever associated with corruption. Judgment had been decreed, a sentence etched in stone. He would be bound because of the unrighteousness he taught and the corruption he revealed, his legacy one of destruction. Fear seized them all, a palpable sense of dread gripping their immortal souls. They begged me to write a petition, a desperate plea to plead for forgiveness on their behalf, hoping for a glimmer of redemption. They were ashamed, their celestial pride shattered. They could no longer look toward heaven, their faces covered in disgrace. So I wrote their petition, a record of their deeds and their requests, documenting their remorse and their desperate hope for forgiveness. Then I went to the waters of Dan near Hermon and read it aloud until sleep overcame me, the weight of their sins heavy upon my soul. And a vision came, a glimpse into the divine council. I saw judgment, the scales of justice balancing the weight of their transgressions. I heard a voice commanding me to return and declare it to the watchers, delivering the final verdict. When I awoke, I found them gathered together weeping, their faces covered in shame, their hopes dashed. And I told them everything I had seen, relaying the divine judgment. I spoke the words of righteousness, and I pronounced judgment upon the watchers of heaven, sealing their fate. Enoch, the book of the words of righteousness, a testament to divine justice. I was given words to speak, words of righteousness and judgment, a sacred duty. They were not my own, but divinely inspired. They were commanded by the Holy and Great One revealed to me in a vision while I slept, a direct link to the source of all creation. What I now speak, I speak with a human tongue and mortal breath, a humble vessel for the divine message. The gift God gave to mankind so that the heart may understand wisdom, the power of communication to connect with the divine. The same God who gave men understanding gave me a task, a specific purpose in the grand scheme of creation. To speak judgment to the watchers, the children of heaven, delivering the consequences of their actions. I wrote their petition, fulfilling their request. And in the vision that followed, I was shown its answer, the ultimate fate of the fallen angels. Their petition would never be granted, their pleas falling on deaf ears. Not in this age, not in any age to come, their fate sealed for eternity. Judgment had already been sealed, a decree etched in the heavens. They would never again ascend into heaven, their celestial home forever lost. A decree had gone forth to bind them to the earth for all the days of the world, confining them to the realm they had corrupted. Before their binding was complete, they would witness the destruction of their own sons, a final act of despair. They would see them fall by the sword, their monstrous offspring decimated. And no prayer, no weeping, no pleading, no word written or spoken would change what had been decreed, their fate irreversible. Then the vision overtook me, a swirling vortex of divine energy. Clouds summoned me, beckoning me to higher realms. Mist carried me, lifting me from the earth. The stars and the lightning hastened my path, illuminating my journey. The winds lifted me and bore me upward into heaven itself, a celestial ascent. I approached a wall built of crystal, shimmering with an ethereal glow, surrounded by tongues of fire, a protective barrier against the unholy. Fear seized me, a primal instinct in the face of such divine power. Yet I went on, compelled by a force beyond my control. I entered a house built entirely of crystal, its structure defying earthly architecture. Its walls like a patterned floor of light, radiating an otherworldly brilliance. Its foundation pure and transparent, revealing the celestial energies beneath. Above me the ceiling blazed like the paths of stars and lightning, a dazzling display of celestial power. Between them were fiery cherubim, guarding the sacred space, and above them waters of heaven, a symbol of divine purity. Flames surrounded the structure, Its gates burned with fire, a test of worthiness. Inside the heat burned like fire and froze like ice, a paradox of divine energy. There was no comfort there, only fear, a reminder of the awe-inspiring power of God. Trembling overtook me, my body shaking uncontrollably, and I fell on my face, humbled by the divine presence. Then I saw another house, greater than the first, surpassing anything I had ever imagined. Its gates stood open, inviting me in, and it was built entirely of fire, a structure of pure energy. Its splendor exceeded anything words could hold, defying description. Its floor was fire, an endless expanse of burning energy. Above it were lightning and stars, illuminating the celestial space. And there I saw a throne, the seat of divine power. Lofty, radiant like crystal, its wheels shining like the sun, a symbol of its celestial mobility. Beneath it flowed rivers of fire, so intense I could not look upon them, their power overwhelming. The great glory sat upon the throne, the source of all creation. His garment shone brighter than the sun, whiter than any snow, a blinding display of divine radiance. No angel could approach him, their celestial light paling in comparison. No flesh could look upon his face, mortal eyes unable to withstand such power. Fire surrounded him, a protective barrier. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him, a celestial host beyond comprehension. Yet he needed no counselor, his wisdom absolute. I lay prostrate, trembling, overwhelmed by the divine presence. Then the Lord called me by name, a personal invitation to approach. Come near, Enoch, and hear my word, a moment of divine recognition. I was lifted by one of the holy ones, guided by a celestial hand, and brought to the door, a threshold of unimaginable power. I bowed low, my head to the ground, humbled by the divine majesty. And the voice said to me, "Fear not, Enoch, righteous man and scribe of righteousness, for you are favored in my sight. Come and hear, for I have a message for you." I was commanded to speak to the watchers, to deliver a final judgment, to tell them they should have interceded for men, guiding them towards righteousness, not sought men to intercede for them, a betrayal of their celestial duty. They had abandoned their eternal dwelling, forsaking their heavenly home. They had defiled themselves with women, succumbing to earthly desires. Though they were once spiritual and immortal, they had lusted after flesh and blood, abandoning their divine nature. They were not created for marriage, their purpose far greater. Heaven was their dwelling, their rightful place. Because of this, their offspring, the giants, would become evil spirits upon the earth, a curse upon humanity. Their bodies would perish, returning to the dust. But their spirits would remain, afflicting mankind, stirring violence, hunger, chaos, and destruction until the final judgment, a perpetual cycle of suffering. And I was told to deliver this final word to the watchers, the ultimate consequence of their actions. You will have no peace, their fate sealed for eternity. Enoch taken by angels. Then the angels took me, their celestial grip firm yet gentle. They brought me to places where beings appeared like fire, entities of pure energy. Yet when they wished, they appeared as men, able to interact with the earthly realm. They led me to a mountain whose summit reached the heavens, a towering peak that pierced the celestial sphere, and into regions of deep darkness, a void of unimaginable emptiness. I was shown the treasuries of the stars, the secrets of the cosmos, the thunder, the lightning, the fiery bow, the arrows, the sword of flame, the weapons of divine power. I was brought to the living waters and to the fire of the west where the sun descends, witnessing the cycle of creation. I saw a river of fire flowing like water into the great sea, a merging of elemental forces. I saw vast rivers and places where no human foot has ever walked, untouched by mortal presence. Mountains of winter darkness and the sources of the deep, the hidden corners of the earth. I saw the mouths of all rivers and the entrance of the abyss, the gateway to the unknown. I saw the treasuries of the winds and how they sustain creation, the forces that shape the world. I saw the cornerstone of the earth and the four winds that uphold the sky, the foundations of the planet. These are the pillars of heaven, supporting the celestial dome. I saw the winds guiding the sun and stars to their setting, orchestrating the celestial dance. I saw clouds carried across the earth, delivering life-giving rain. I saw the paths of angels, their celestial routes across the heavens. At the ends of the earth, I saw a burning place where 7 great mountains stood brilliant with colored stone, pearl, and fire, a landscape of otherworldly beauty. The central mountain rose like a throne reaching heaven itself, crowned with sapphire, a beacon of divine power. Beyond them, I saw a deep abyss, a chasm of infinite depth, filled with columns of heavenly fire, stretching beyond measure upward and downward, a landscape of eternal energy. Beyond that, a place without sky, without earth, without water, a wasteland of terror and desolation, a realm of emptiness. There I saw 7 stars blazing like mountains of fire, symbols of celestial transgression. The angel said to me, "This is the prison of heaven and earth, a place of confinement and punishment. These stars transgressed the command of the Lord, defying his celestial order. They did not rise at their appointed times, disrupting the divine plan. They are bound here until their judgment is fulfilled, their fate sealed." Uriel spoke again, his voice echoing with solemnity. "Here also will stand the angels who defiled themselves with women, the perpetrators of earthly corruption. Their spirits roam the earth, deceiving mankind, leading them to worship demons as gods, a twisted perversion of faith. Here they will remain until the day of the great judgment, awaiting their final reckoning. And the women who went astray with them would become sirens, seducers of destruction, luring mortals to their doom. I, Enoch, alone saw these visions, the ends of all things, witnessing the unfolding of divine judgment. And no man shall ever see what I have seen, for I was chosen as a vessel of divine revelation. The holy angels revealed to Enoch, granting me a glimpse into the secrets of the universe. I was shown that heaven is not silent, that the celestial realm is alive with activity and purpose. There are holy angels, each meticulously appointed to watch over mankind. Each angel is set in place with a specific purpose, each bearing authority directly from the Most High. Their roles are not arbitrary. They are divinely ordained. I came to learn their very names, names whispered in celestial halls, names that resonate with power and responsibility. Uriel, a name that echoed with the weight of worlds, is one of the holy angels, set over the world and the unfathomable depths of Tartarus. Raphael, his name a balm, is appointed over the spirits of men, a shepherd of souls. Ragel, a bringer of divine reckoning, is the one who delivers vengeance upon the world of the luminaries when they transgress the laws of heaven. Michael, a warrior of light, is set over the best part of mankind and over the chaotic forces that threaten to engulf it. Sarahel is appointed over the spirits who sin in the realm of the spirit, a guardian against ethereal transgressions. Gabriel, a herald of grace, is set over paradise and over the serpents and the cherubim, a sentinel at the gates of Eden. Ramiel is appointed over those who rise, a guide for those ascending to higher realms. And then, abruptly, I was taken forward, propelled into a place where everything felt fundamentally broken, shattered beyond repair. I went to where things were chaotic, utterly disordered, and what I witnessed there was dreadful, a vision that seared itself into my soul. There was no clear, comforting heaven above, no firm and reassuring earth beneath my feet, only a desolate region of profound confusion, horrible and unstable, like a world ripped violently out of its proper order, a cosmic wound left raw and exposed. In that desolate place, I saw 7 stars of heaven, bound together, chained as if by some unseen force, like enormous mountains burning eternally with fire. I could not comprehend it, the sheer scale of the devastation and the reason for such torment. So, with a tremor in my voice, I asked, "For what sin are they bound so tightly? Why have they been cast into this desolate place, abandoned to this eternal fire?" Uriel, who remained steadfastly by my side, the chief among them, his presence a beacon in the oppressive darkness, answered my desperate question. "Enoch, he said, his voice resonating with ancient wisdom. Why are you so eager for the truth, when some truths are too terrible to bear? These are among the stars of heaven that transgressed the commandment of the Lord, defying his divine order. They are bound here, in this desolate prison, until 10,000 years are fulfilled, the time appointed for their sin, the duration of their agonizing penance. From there, I was relentlessly led to another place, more terrifying than the first, a realm where the very air seemed to crackle with dread. I saw a great fire blazing without restraint, an inferno unleashed with no hope of containment. The ground itself was split wide open, descending toward an unfathomable abyss, a gaping maw of darkness. Columns of fire fell endlessly into the depths, a ceaseless torrent of destruction. I could not measure the place, its dimensions defying comprehension. I could not even begin to guess its size, its scale dwarfing anything I had ever imagined. And I said aloud, my voice barely a whisper in the face of such overwhelming horror, how fearful this place is, how terrible it is to look upon, a vision that chills the very soul. Uriel, ever the patient guide, asked me, Enoch, why do you fear? What is it that so troubles your spirit? And I answered, my voice trembling with emotion. Because of this place, because of the unimaginable pain I see, the unending torment that permeates this realm. He said, his words echoing with solemnity. This is the prison of angels, those who defied the divine order. Here they will be imprisoned forever, their rebellion eternally punished. Then, as if drawn by an unseen force, I was taken to a mountain of hard rock, an unyielding and desolate peak. Inside it were 4 hollow places, carved into the stone, deep, wide, smooth, and terribly dark, devoid of all light. They looked as if they had been meticulously carved out for something unseen, something waiting in the oppressive darkness, something sinister. Raphael, the holy angel who accompanied me, his presence a comforting contrast to the horrors around us, explained it with quiet authority. These hollows were created for the spirits of the dead, he said, his voice echoing in the cavernous space. Here the souls of the children of men assemble, kept until the day of judgment, until their appointed time, until the great judgment is executed, when their lives will be weighed and their eternal fate determined. And then I heard it, a voice like a desperate plea that would not stop, a spirit making its case before heaven, crying out for justice. I asked Raphael, my curiosity piqued by the intensity of the sound. This spirit that cries out with such passion, whose spirit is it? Raphael answered, his voice filled with sorrow. This is the spirit that went forth from Abel, whom his brother Cain slew in a fit of jealous rage. He brings his suit against Cain, demanding justice until Cain's seed is destroyed from the face of the earth, until his lineage is wiped out from among men, a complete and utter eradication. I stared again at those hollow places, my mind grappling with the implications of what I was seeing, and asked, my brow furrowed in confusion, why are they separated? Why is one apart from the other, divided in this way? Raphael said, his voice measured and precise. These were made to divide the spirits of the dead, to separate them according to their deeds in life. One division is for the righteous, those who lived in accordance with divine law. There is bright water there, a place of peace and tranquility, a haven from the torments of the afterlife. Another is for sinners, those who died and were buried without judgment in their lifetime, those whose deeds were unatoned for. Here their spirits remain in pain until the great day of judgment, awaiting their final punishment and torment, until they are bound forever in eternal damnation. And another is for those who make their suit, those who were slain in the days of sinners and cry out for justice, demanding retribution for their unjust deaths. And there is also a place for those who were not righteous yet not wholly condemned like the worst, companions of transgressors, those who walked the line between good and evil. They will not be raised from there, their fate sealed in a state of perpetual limbo. And when I heard these things, the order and the justice of it all, I blessed the Lord of glory and said, my voice filled with reverence, blessed be my Lord, the Lord of righteousness, who rules forever, whose judgment is just and whose mercy is boundless. Then, without warning, I was taken west to the ends of the earth, transported across vast distances in the blink of an eye. And there I saw a fire that never rested, an eternal blaze that consumed all in its path. It ran day and night without pausing, like a relentless pursuit across the horizon, an inexorable force. I asked, my voice filled with awe and a hint of trepidation. What is this that never rests, this fire that burns without end? Raguel answered, his voice resonating with power. This is the fire in the west that persecutes all the luminaries of heaven, a purifying force that tests their strength and their faithfulness. After that, I was shown a mountain range burning day and night, its peaks shrouded in eternal flames. Beyond it stood 7 magnificent mountains, each different from the other, each possessing its own unique character and splendor. Beautiful stones adorned them, glorious to behold, yet divided by deep ravines that did not connect, isolating each peak from its neighbors. In the midst of them stood the 7th, higher than all the rest, like a throne rising from the earth, a testament to divine power and authority. Fragrant trees surrounded it, their branches reaching towards the heavens. And among those trees, I saw one unlike any I had ever known, a tree of unparalleled beauty and majesty. Its fragrance surpassed everything, a scent that transported me to a realm of pure bliss. Its leaves did not wither, remaining eternally green and vibrant. Its blossoms did not die, perpetually blooming with exquisite beauty. Its wood did not decay, remaining strong and unyielding. And its fruit was beautiful, like dates of a palm, but far more radiant and enticing. I said, my voice filled with wonder and awe, how beautiful this tree is, how sweet its fragrance, how delightful its appearance. Michael, holy and honored, answered me, his voice resonating with divine authority. Enoch, he said, why do you ask about this fragrance? Why do you seek the truth about this tree? Its secrets are not for mortal eyes to behold just yet. I told him, my heart filled with a burning desire for knowledge. I want to know everything, but especially about this tree, this source of such profound beauty and fragrance. And Michael said, his voice softening, that high mountain you see, whose summit is like the throne of God, this is the place where the Holy Great One, the Lord of Glory, the Eternal King, will sit when he comes down to visit the earth with goodness, to usher in an era of peace and prosperity. But this fragrant tree, no mortal may touch it until the great judgment. Then it will be given to the righteous, those who have proven their faithfulness and devotion. Its fruit will be food for the elect, nourishing their souls and granting them eternal life. It will be brought to the holy place, to the temple of the Lord, the Eternal King, where it will be revered and worshipped. Then they will rejoice, filled with unimaginable joy and gratitude. They will enter the holy place, basking in the divine presence. Its fragrance will strengthen them, fortifying their spirits and granting them unwavering faith. They will live long on the earth as your fathers lived, enjoying a life free from sorrow and suffering. And in their days no sorrow, plague, torment, or calamity will touch them, their lives shielded by divine grace. And I blessed the God of glory, the Eternal King, who prepared such things for the righteous, who created them and promised them a future of unimaginable joy and bliss. Then I was shown a blessed land filled with trees in bloom, a paradise of unparalleled beauty. I saw a holy mountain, beneath it a stream flowing south, its waters crystal clear and life-giving. I saw other mountains, ravines of hard rock, deep and narrow, dry and severe, a stark contrast to the lushness of the blessed land. And I marveled at the landscape and what it signified, pondering the deeper meaning behind its diverse features. I asked, my curiosity once again piqued, why is this land blessed with trees, a verdant paradise? And why is that valley between them cursed, barren, and desolate? Uriel answered, his voice filled with wisdom and understanding, that accursed valley is for those who are cursed forever, those who speak harsh words against the Lord, who dishonor his glory with their irreverent tongues. Here they will be gathered for judgment, awaiting their eternal punishment. And in the last days, righteous judgment will be displayed before the righteous forever, a testament to the Lord's unwavering justice. The merciful will bless the Lord of glory, the eternal King, because of the mercy he has assigned them, the compassion he has shown to those who are deserving. And again I blessed the Lord of glory and praised him for his unwavering justice and his boundless mercy. After that, I was taken east into the desert mountains, transported to a remote and desolate region. I saw a solitary wilderness full of plants and trees, a testament to the resilience of life in the face of adversity. Water rushed down from above like a river, providing sustenance to the arid landscape, and clouds and dew rose on every side, nourishing the earth. I was led further into regions of fragrance, a symphony of scents that filled the air with intoxicating aromas. Trees like frankincense and myrrh grew in abundance, and valleys were scented with cinnamon and sweet resin, creating a paradise for the senses. I saw mountains filled with nard and spice and trees whose scent when burned was sweeter than any perfume, a testament to the bounty of the earth. Then, far to the east, I passed above the Erythraean Sea and beyond the angel Zodial, venturing into uncharted territories. And I came to the Garden of Righteousness, a place of unparalleled beauty and serenity. From a distance I saw trees beyond number, great, beautiful, glorious, stretching as far as the eye could see, an endless forest of divine splendor. And there I saw the tree of knowledge, the tree whose fruit brings great wisdom, the source of both enlightenment and temptation. Its leaves were broad, its clusters were like vines, and its fragrance carried far, enticing all who came near. I said, my voice filled with awe and wonder, how beautiful this tree is, how attractive its look, a beacon of knowledge in this divine garden. Raphael answered me, his voice filled with a hint of melancholy. This is the tree of wisdom, which your father and your mother, those before you, ate from, succumbing to temptation and forever changing the course of human history. Their eyes were opened, granting them knowledge and understanding. They learned wisdom, but they also knew they were naked, both physically and spiritually, and they were driven from the garden, banished from paradise for their transgression. And as I continued, my journey leading me ever deeper into the mysteries of creation, I saw great beasts of the earth, each unlike the other, a testament to the diversity and creativity of the divine architect. I saw birds, each with its own beauty and voice, filling the air with their songs and their vibrant colors. At the farthest ends, I saw the heavens resting upon the earth, the boundary between the mortal and the divine. And the portals of heaven opened, revealing glimpses of the celestial realm. I watched the stars come forth through their gates, their light piercing the darkness, and I counted their portals and wrote down their outlets, each by name, each by course, each by time, exactly as Uriel showed me, meticulously recording the movements of the celestial bodies. I saw the northern portals where cold winds come, bringing hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain, the forces of nature unleashed upon the earth. I saw that one portal brings good, while two bring violence and affliction, a reminder that even in nature, there is both creation and destruction. I saw the western portals as well, and the southern and the eastern, great and small openings through which the stars run their course, moving toward the west on the path appointed to them, following the celestial dance ordained by the Lord. And as often as I saw these wonders, I blessed the Lord of glory, filled with gratitude for the opportunity to witness such magnificent sights. For he has done great and marvelous works, so that angels, spirits, and men may see the greatness of his power, marveling at his creation and praising his name forever. Enoch, Book 2, the Book of Parables. Chapter 1, the first parable. I am Enoch, son of Jared, son of Mahalalel, son of Cainan, son of Enos, son of Seth, son of Adam, a lineage stretching back to the very dawn of humanity. And this is the second vision that was shown to me, the vision of wisdom, a gift bestowed upon me by the grace of the Lord. I lifted up my voice to speak not only to the men of old, the generations that came before me, but also to those who would come after, to all who would listen and heed my words. I said, listen, you who lived before me and you who will live long after me, those who dwell in the past and those who will inherit the future. Hear the words of the Holy One that I speak before the Lord of spirits. words of wisdom and truth that will guide you through the ages. It would have been good to declare these things to the first generations, to impart this knowledge to those who first walked the earth. But wisdom will not be withheld from the last, for they too deserve to know the truth. Until that day, such wisdom had not been given as it was given to me, a unique and precious gift. Not by my strength, for I am but a mortal man. Not by my worth, for I am unworthy of such a blessing. But by the good pleasure of the Lord of spirits, who appointed for me a portion tied to eternal life, a destiny intertwined with the divine. And I was entrusted with 3 parables, stories that held the key to understanding the mysteries of the universe. I raised my voice and recounted them to those who dwell on the earth, sharing the wisdom that had been bestowed upon me. This is the first. I was shown a future hour, a time yet to come, when the congregation of the righteous would appear openly, their faces shining with divine light, and sinners would be judged for their sin, their wickedness exposed for all to see, driven from the face of the earth, banished from the presence of the Lord. And in that hour, the righteous one would be revealed before the eyes of the righteous, a beacon of hope and salvation. His elect works resting upon the Lord of spirits, a testament to his unwavering faith and devotion. Then light would break forth for the righteous and the elect who dwell on the earth, illuminating their path and guiding them towards eternal bliss. And I asked myself a question that felt like thunder, a question that shook me to my very core. Where will the sinners dwell then? Where will those rest who denied the Lord of spirits, those who turned their backs on the divine? It would have been better for them if they had never been born, spared the agony of eternal damnation. For in that day the secrets of the righteous will be revealed, their virtue and their goodness made manifest, and the godless will be driven away from the presence of the righteous and the elect, banished from the light and cast into eternal darkness. Those who once possessed the earth, those who lived powerful and exalted lives, will no longer stand in power, their earthly glory fading into insignificance. They will not be able to look upon the face of the holy, their eyes unable to withstand the brilliance of divine grace, because the Lord of spirits will cause his light to appear upon the holy, upon the righteous, upon the elect, illuminating their souls and granting them eternal peace. And then the kings and the mighty will fall, their crowns tumbling from their heads, their empires crumbling to dust. They will perish, their earthly power proving fleeting and inconsequential, and they will be delivered into the hands of the righteous, their fate sealed by their own wickedness. From that time on, no one will be able to seek mercy for themselves, their chance for redemption forever lost. Their lives will have reached their end, their destinies fulfilled, and their final judgment rendered. And I was shown another thing, mysterious, weighty, terrifying, a vision that filled me with both awe and dread. In those days, elect and holy children will descend from the high heaven, angels in human form, and their seed will become one with the children of men, mingling the divine with the mortal. And in those same days, I received books filled with zeal and wrath, books of unrest and expulsion, containing prophecies and warnings for the generations to come. And I heard it spoken plainly, the words of the Lord ringing with unwavering authority. Mercy will not be granted to them, says the Lord of spirits, their transgressions too great, their rebellion too profound. Then something happened to me, an event that defied all earthly explanation. A whirlwind carried me off the earth, lifting me like dust, sweeping me away from the mortal realm, and set me down at the end of the heavens, transporting me to the celestial realm, a place beyond human comprehension. And there another vision opened before my eyes, revealing the secrets of the divine, the dwelling places of the holy, the resting places of the righteous, havens of peace and tranquility in the celestial realm. I saw their homes among the righteous angels, their dwellings filled with light and joy. I saw their resting places among the holy ones, their souls at peace in the presence of the Lord. And I saw how they prayed, their voices rising in harmonious praise. They petitioned, pleading for the salvation of humanity. They interceded, mediating between the divine and the mortal. They pleaded for the children of men, their hearts filled with compassion and love. And righteousness flowed before them like water, a cleansing force washing away the sins of the world. Mercy fell upon the earth like dew, nourishing the souls of the faithful and granting them eternal grace. And it was not temporary, a fleeting moment of kindness. It was their portion forever, an eternal reward for their unwavering devotion. In that place, my eyes saw the elect one, the chosen one of righteousness and faith, the embodiment of divine virtue. I saw his dwelling under the wings of the Lord of Spirits, protected by divine power and guided by divine wisdom. In his days, righteousness will prevail, a reign of peace and justice that will last for eternity, and the righteous and the elect before him will be beyond number forever, an infinite multitude of souls united in their love for the Lord. They were like fiery lights, radiating divine energy and illuminating the celestial realm. Their mouths were full of blessing, their voices praising the Lord with unwavering devotion. Their lips praised the name of the Lord of Spirits, their words echoing with reverence and gratitude. And righteousness before him did not fail, their virtue unwavering, their faith unshakable. And something in me broke open like longing mixed with worship, a profound desire to be closer to the divine. I wanted to remain there, in that celestial realm, forever basking in the light of the Lord. My spirit longed for that dwelling, a place of peace and joy beyond human comprehension. And I knew this had been appointed for me from before, my destiny intertwined with the divine, established concerning me in the presence of the Lord of Spirits. So I praised him, my voice filled with awe and gratitude. I extolled the name of the Lord of Spirits with blessings and honor, showering him with my love and devotion, because he destined me for blessing and glory according to his good pleasure, granting me a glimpse into the wonders of his creation. For a long time I stared at that place, mesmerized by its beauty and its serenity, and I said, my voice trembling with emotion, "Blessed is he, blessed from the beginning and forever, the source of all creation and the ruler of all eternity. Before him there is no ending, his reign eternal, his power absolute. He knew before the world was made what would be forever and what would be from generation to generation, his divine plan unfolding according to his perfect will. And then I saw the ones who do not sleep, the celestial beings who stand before his glory, eternally vigilant, blessing and praising and extolling, their voices rising in harmonious praise, saying, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of Spirits, the ultimate source of all creation. He fills the earth with spirits, imbuing all living things with his divine essence. I saw them awake, unceasing, their devotion unwavering, saying, Blessed are you, and blessed is the name of the Lord forever and ever, your power eternal, your glory boundless. And my face changed, overwhelmed by the magnitude of what I was witnessing, because I could no longer endure what I was seeing, the sheer brilliance and power of the divine presence. Then I looked again and I saw a multitude beyond number, an infinite host of celestial beings, thousands of thousands, 10,000 times 10,000 standing before the Lord of Spirits, their presence filling the celestial realm. On four sides of him I saw four presences distinct from the ones who do not sleep, each possessing its own unique character and role. And the angel who went with me revealed their names and showed me hidden things, secrets of the celestial realm that were beyond human comprehension. I heard their voices as they spoke praise before the Lord of Glory, their words resonating with divine power. The first voice blessed the Lord of Spirits forever and ever, praising his eternal reign and his boundless glory. The second voice blessed the elect one and the elect who cling to the Lord of Spirits, honoring those who have been chosen for divine grace and those who remain steadfast in their faith. The third voice prayed and interceded for those who dwell on the earth, pleading for mercy and compassion in the name of the Lord of Spirits. And the fourth voice resisted the Satans, blocking them, refusing them access to accuse those who dwell on the earth, protecting humanity from the forces of evil. I asked the angel of peace who walked with me, Who are these four presences whose words I have heard and written down, these powerful beings who stand before the Lord? And he answered, The first is Michael, merciful and long-suffering, the protector of humanity and the warrior against the forces of darkness. The second is Raphael, set over all disease and wounds of the children of men, the healer of bodies and the comforter of souls. The third is Gabriel, set over all powers, the messenger of the divine and the guardian of the celestial realm. And the fourth is Phanuel, set over repentance unto hope for those who inherit eternal life, the guide towards redemption and the beacon of hope for those who have strayed from the path of righteousness. These were the four angels of the Lord of spirits, the guardians of humanity and the servants of the divine. And these were the four voices I heard in those days, the voices of power and compassion echoing through the celestial realm. After that, I was shown secrets, mysteries that had been hidden since the dawn of time, secrets of heaven itself, revealing the inner workings of the divine realm. I saw how the kingdom is divided, the order and hierarchy that governs the celestial realm, and how the actions of men are weighed like objects placed on a scale, judged according to their virtue and their wickedness. I saw the mansions of the elect, the havens of peace and joy that await the righteous in the afterlife. I saw the mansions of the holy, the dwellings of the celestial beings who serve the Lord. And I saw sinners driven out, banished from the presence of the divine, those who deny the name of the Lord of spirits dragged away, condemned to eternal darkness, because they could not endure the punishment that proceeds from him, the consequences of their own actions. I was shown the secrets of lightning and thunder, the raw power of nature unleashed upon the earth, the secrets of the winds, how they are divided to blow over the earth, bringing both life and destruction, the secrets of clouds and dew, where they arise and how they water the dusty ground, nourishing the earth and sustaining life. I saw chambers shut away, storehouses of wind, chambers of hail, chambers of mist and cloud, hidden reservoirs of natural forces. The cloud that has hovered over the earth since the beginning of the world, a symbol of both promise and potential destruction. And I saw the chambers of the sun and the moon, where they come from and where they return, the celestial bodies that govern the cycles of day and night. I saw their glorious rising and their measured orbit, their predictable and unwavering path. They did not wander, following the celestial course ordained by the Lord. They did not add to their path or subtract from it, remaining steadfast in their orbit. They kept faith with each other according to the oath that binds them, a testament to the divine order that governs the universe. The sun goes forth and traverses his path by the command of the Lord of spirits, fulfilling its divine purpose. Mighty is his name forever, his power absolute and his reign eternal. And I saw the moon's hidden and visible path by day and by night, standing opposite the sun before the Lord of spirits, a celestial dance of light and shadow. And they give thanks without ceasing, their existence a constant act of praise and adoration. To them thanksgiving is rest, their souls finding peace in their unwavering devotion. And I learned that the sun can become a blessing or a curse, its rays bringing both warmth and drought, life and death. And the moon becomes light to the righteous and darkness to sinners in the name of the Lord who separated light from darkness, establishing the balance of the universe, who divided the spirits of men, separating the righteous from the wicked, and strengthened the spirits of the righteous in the name of his righteousness, granting them unwavering faith. No angel can hinder him, his power absolute and his will unyielding. No power can resist him, for he is the Lord of all creation. He appoints a judge for all, and all are judged before him, their deeds weighed and their destinies determined. Then I was shown something that pierced me, a vision that filled me with both sorrow and understanding. Wisdom searched for a place to live and found none, rejected by humanity and unable to find a home among mortals. She was assigned a dwelling in heaven, a sanctuary among the angels, a place of peace and tranquility. Wisdom went forth to dwell among the children of men, hoping to guide them towards righteousness, but found no home, their hearts hardened and their minds closed to her teachings. So she returned to her place and sat among the angels, finding solace in the company of the divine. And unrighteousness went forth from her chambers and found those she did not seek and dwelt with them like rain in a desert, nourishing their wickedness and fueling their rebellion, like dew on thirsty ground, providing sustenance to their corrupted souls. Then I saw other lightnings and the stars of heaven, a celestial display of divine power and beauty. I saw how the Lord called each of them by name and they obeyed, responding to his will with unwavering devotion. I saw them weighed in a righteous balance by their measure of light, by the width of their spaces, by the day of their appearing, their celestial qualities judged according to divine standards. I saw how their revolutions produce lightning, their movements creating the forces of nature. I saw how they keep faith with each other, maintaining the celestial order and fulfilling their divine purpose. And I asked the angel who was with me, the one who showed me hidden things, "What are these celestial wonders that you have revealed to me?" And he said, "The Lord of Spirits has shown you their parabolic meaning, the deeper significance behind these celestial phenomena. These are the names of the holy who dwell on the earth and believe in the name of the Lord of Spirits forever and ever, their faith unwavering, their devotion absolute." And I saw another wonder, a sight that filled me with both awe and trepidation. Some stars rise and become lightning, transforming into forces of nature, and they cannot leave their new form, their fate sealed by divine will. And I knew what I was seeing was not only about the heavens, not merely a celestial phenomenon. It was about the fate of men, the destinies of mortals intertwined with the divine. Chapter 2. The Second Parable. I was shown the second parable, a warning against those who deny the holy dwelling and reject the name of the Lord of Spirits, a condemnation of their wickedness and a glimpse into their eternal fate. And I understood the meaning behind the vision, the judgment that awaits those who turn their backs on the divine. There are some whose rebellion becomes their destiny, their defiance sealing their fate. They will not ascend into heaven, their souls unworthy of celestial grace. And on the earth they will find no true refuge, their lives marked by turmoil and unrest. This will be the portion of sinners, those who denied the name of the Lord of Spirits, their punishment predetermined by their own actions, kept, preserved, and appointed for a day of suffering and tribulation, a time of anguish and despair. Then I heard a decree spoken about that day, the pronouncement of divine judgment. The elect one will sit upon the throne of glory, his presence radiating divine power and authority. He will test works, examining the deeds of all. He will weigh deeds, judging their virtue and their wickedness. And the places of rest for the righteous will be beyond number, an infinite abundance of celestial havens. Their souls will grow strong within them when they see the elect ones, those who have called upon the glorious name, their faith rewarded and their spirits uplifted. And I heard the promise, the divine covenant. I will cause my elect one to dwell among them, granting them eternal peace and joy in his presence. And the world itself would be utterly transformed, remade in his image. Heaven, that celestial sphere, would be reforged, becoming an eternal blessing, a radiant beacon of eternal light, illuminating the cosmos with its divine presence. Earth, too, would undergo a miraculous renewal, cleansed and purified, becoming a source of blessing and abundance for all who dwell upon it. And the elect, those chosen and faithful, would inherit this renewed earth, dwelling in harmony and peace upon its sacred grounds. But the sinners, the evildoers who revel in darkness and corruption, they would find no sanctuary there. For peace, that precious and sacred gift, was meticulously prepared, made full and complete, solely for the righteous, those who live in accordance with his divine will. They would dwell in his presence, basking in the warmth of his love and grace. But for the sinners, for those who reject his light, judgment stood waiting, a formidable force ready to rise and strike with unwavering justice until they were utterly removed from the face of the earth, their wickedness erased from existence. And then, I saw him. I saw the head of days, the Ancient of Days, his very essence radiating eternity. His head was white as freshly fallen wool, ancient beyond the reckoning of time, a testament to his timeless existence. And with him was another being, a presence both familiar and enigmatic, whose face bore the appearance of a man, yet carried a profound graciousness, a serenity that mirrored the holy angels themselves. Intrigued and yearning to comprehend the mysteries unfolding before me, I turned to the angel guiding me, the celestial being who had unveiled hidden things, revealing truths beyond mortal comprehension. And I asked, with a voice filled with reverence and curiosity, "Who is that Son of Man? From whence does he originate? And what is the significance of his walking alongside the head of days?" And the angel, with a voice resonating with divine authority, answered, "This is the Son of Man, the embodiment of righteousness itself. Righteousness dwells within him, flowing through his very being like a river of purity. He reveals the treasures of what is hidden, unlocking the secrets of the universe for those who are worthy. The Lord of Spirits has chosen him, and his portion holds preeminence before the Lord of Spirits, now and forevermore." Then, I was granted a glimpse into the future, a vision of what this Son of Man would accomplish. This Son of Man would raise kings and mighty men from their lofty seats, only to bring them crashing down to earth, their power rendered meaningless in the face of his divine authority. He would loosen the reins of the strong, dismantling their oppressive rule. He would break the teeth of sinners, silencing their wicked pronouncements, because they refused to honor him, refused to offer praise, refused to acknowledge the source of their kingdoms, the wellspring from which their power flowed. Their strength would collapse into shame, their arrogance turning to dust. Darkness would become their dwelling, worms their bed, and they would have no hope of rising again, for they did not exalt the name of the Lord of Spirits, the ultimate source of all creation. I saw who these were, those destined for such a grim fate. They judged the stars of heaven as though the heavens belonged to them, their hubris knowing no bounds. They trampled the earth as though it was theirs by right, their arrogance blinding them to the sanctity of creation. Their deeds exposed them for what they truly were, embodiments of unrighteousness. Their confidence rested solely on riches, their hearts consumed by greed and material possessions. Their faith was misplaced, placed in gods made by their own hands, idols of their own creation. And they denied the name of the Lord of Spirits, the one true God, the source of all life and goodness. They persecuted his congregations, those who remained faithful in the face of adversity. They hunted the faithful, relentlessly pursuing those who held fast to his name, seeking to extinguish the light of faith from the world. But then, another sound rose, a powerful chorus that pierced the heavens. The prayer of the righteous ascended, a beacon of hope in the midst of darkness, and the blood of the righteous cried out from the ground before the Lord of Spirits, a testament to their unwavering faith. And the holy ones above united with one voice, their voices blending in perfect harmony. They prayed, pouring out their hearts to the divine. They praised, offering their adoration to the Lord of Spirits. They gave thanks, acknowledging the blessings they had received. They blessed the name of the Lord of Spirits on behalf of the blood that had been shed, honoring the sacrifice of the faithful. They pleaded that the prayer of the righteous would not be in vain, that their suffering would not be for naught. They begged that judgment would be done, so the righteous would not suffer forever, so justice would prevail in the face of wickedness. Then I saw the head of days take his seat on the throne of glory, his presence illuminating the cosmos with divine radiance, and the books of the living were opened before him, revealing the deeds of all mankind. All the host of heaven stood in attendance, their celestial forms radiating with reverence. His counselors were there, offering their wisdom and guidance, and joy filled the hearts of the holy ones. Because the number of the righteous had been presented, their unwavering faith a testament to his divine plan. Their prayer had been heard, and the blood of the righteous had been required, their sacrifice paving the way for salvation. In that sacred place, I saw something else, a fountain of righteousness without end, a source of purity and grace that flowed eternally. Around it were fountains of wisdom, their waters sparkling with divine knowledge. The thirsty drank deeply, quenching their spiritual thirst, and they were filled with wisdom, their minds illuminated by divine understanding, and their dwellings were with the righteous, the holy, and the elect, those who had earned their place in the celestial realm. Then, at that very hour, the Son of Man was named in the presence of the Lord of Spirits, his identity revealed to all creation. His name was spoken before the head of days. Before the sun was created, before the signs were established in the heavens, before the stars were formed and scattered across the night sky. His name was already known before the Lord of Spirits, predestined and chosen from the beginning of time. And I heard what he would become, a staff for the righteous, a source of support and guidance. so they do not fall into temptation or despair. A light for the nations, dispelling the darkness of ignorance and sin. A hope for the troubled heart, offering solace and comfort to those who suffer. All who dwell on earth would fall down before him, bowing in reverence and adoration, worshiping, praising, blessing, and singing to the Lord of spirits, the ultimate source of all creation. And I learned that he had been chosen and hidden, concealed from the world, before the creation of the world itself. Forever wisdom revealed him to the holy and righteous, granting them a glimpse of his divine nature, because their portion had been preserved, secured for them by their unwavering faith. They hated the world's unrighteousness, rejecting its allure and corruption. They rejected its ways, choosing instead the path of righteousness and truth. They clung to the name of the Lord of spirits, finding strength and solace in his divine presence. And in his name, they were saved, redeemed from the clutches of darkness. But for the kings of the earth, for the strong who possessed the land, for those who reveled in their power and earthly possessions, their faces would become downcast, their arrogance replaced by fear and despair. On the day of anguish, when judgment was at hand, they would not be able to save themselves, their power and wealth proving meaningless in the face of divine wrath. They would be delivered into the hands of the elect, those chosen by God to execute his justice. Like straw before fire, they would burn in the presence of the holy, consumed by the flames of divine judgment. Like lead in water, they would sink before the righteous, their wickedness unable to withstand the purity of God's chosen people, and no trace of them would remain, their existence erased from the annals of history. They would fall and not rise again, their fate sealed by their own wickedness, because they denied the Lord of spirits and his anointed, rejecting the path of righteousness and embracing the darkness of sin. And I bless the name of the Lord of spirits, offering my gratitude and praise. For wisdom is poured out like water, a boundless source of knowledge and understanding, and glory does not fail before him, his divine radiance shining eternally. Unrighteousness passes like a shadow, fleeting and insubstantial, and cannot remain in his presence, for it is consumed by his divine light. Because the elect one stands before the Lord of spirits, his chosen servant, and his glory is forever, a testament to God's unwavering love and grace. In him dwells the spirit of wisdom, insight, understanding, might, and the spirit of those who fell asleep in righteousness, the souls of the faithful who have found eternal rest in his loving embrace. He judges secret things, discerning the hidden motives of the heart, and no lying word can stand before him, for his truth pierces through all deception. He is the elect one, chosen by the Lord of spirits, destined to fulfill his divine plan. Then I saw change coming for the holy and elect, a transformation that would usher in a new era of righteousness and peace. The light of days would rest upon them, illuminating their path and guiding them towards their divine destiny. Glory and honor would turn toward them, recognizing their unwavering faith and devotion. And on the day affliction is stored up against sinners, when the wicked face the consequences of their actions, the righteous would triumph in the name of the Lord of spirits, their victory a testament to the power of faith. Some would witness this and repent, turning away from the works of their hands, abandoning their wicked ways and embracing the path of righteousness. They would have no honor, having squandered their earthly lives in pursuit of sin. Yet, through his name, they could be saved, redeemed by his boundless grace. Because the compassion of the Lord of spirits is great, extending even to those who have strayed from his path. But for the unrepentant, those who stubbornly cling to their wickedness, judgment would not bend, its course unwavering. Unrighteousness cannot stand in the presence of his glory, for it is consumed by his divine light. And I heard the final sentence, the pronouncement of ultimate judgment. From henceforth I will have no mercy on them, says the Lord of spirits, his voice resonating with divine authority. Then the earth itself was commanded to give back what was entrusted to it, releasing the souls of the departed from its embrace. Sheol, the realm of the dead, would return what it swallowed, its grip on the departed loosened by the power of God. And the abyss would release what it owed, surrendering the souls it had held captive. For the day would come when the elect one rises to choose the righteous and holy from among them, separating the faithful from the wicked. Because the day had drawn near, the day of salvation, the culmination of God's divine plan. And the elect one would sit on the throne, and his mouth would pour out secrets of wisdom and counsel, guiding the righteous towards eternal life. Because the Lord of spirits had given it to him and glorified him, bestowing upon him divine authority and power. In those days, I saw creation react, responding to the presence of the divine. Mountains would leap like rams, their peaks shaking with joyful anticipation. Hills would skip like lambs satisfied with milk, their gentle slopes echoing with the harmony of creation. Even the faces of angels in heaven would shine with joy, their celestial forms radiating with divine delight. The earth would rejoice, its landscapes renewed and blessed. The righteous would dwell upon it, inheriting the promise of eternal life. And the elect would walk there, their footsteps echoing with the footsteps of God. After this, I was carried again by whirlwind toward the west, propelled by a force beyond my control. And there my eyes saw secrets still hidden from mankind, mysteries yet to be unveiled. I saw mountains of iron, copper, silver, gold, soft metal, and lead, their towering peaks reaching towards the heavens. I asked the angel with me, "What are these?" filled with wonder and curiosity. And he answered, "These will serve the dominion of his anointed, so that he may be mighty on the earth, using these resources to establish his kingdom and carry out his divine will." Then the angel of peace said to me, "Wait, be patient and steadfast, and you will see the secret things that surround the Lord of spirits, the mysteries that are veiled from mortal eyes. These mountains you see, iron, copper, silver, gold, soft metal, and lead, will become like wax before fire in the presence of the elect one, their strength melting away in the face of his divine power. Like water streaming down from above, they will be made powerless beneath his feet, their resources yielding to his command. And I was told something that struck fear into me, a prophecy that shook my very soul. In those days, none will be saved by gold, their earthly riches proving worthless in the face of divine judgment. None will escape by silver, their wealth unable to buy them redemption. Iron will not be used for war, for the weapons of man will be rendered meaningless in the face of God's power. No breastplate will protect, armor proving futile against divine wrath. Bronze will not help, its strength unable to withstand the force of God's judgment. Tin will not matter, its value diminished in the face of eternal truth. Lead will be despised, its worthlessness exposed for all to see. And these things will be destroyed from the earth, cleansed from creation in the wake of God's judgment. Then I saw a deep valley burning with fire, a fiery abyss that stretched beyond the horizon. And they brought kings and mighty men and began casting them into the valley, their earthly power unable to save them from their fiery fate. And I saw instruments prepared, chains of iron, immeasurable weight, instruments of punishment for those who had rejected God's divine will. I asked, "For whom are these chains prepared?" The angel answered, "For the hosts of Azul, the rebellious angels who have defied God's authority, to seize them and cast them into complete condemnation, consigning them to eternal torment." And I saw what would happen on the great day of judgment. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Fuel, the archangels of God, would take hold of them and throw them into the burning furnace, delivering God's justice to those who had defied him. As the Lord of spirits takes vengeance for their unrighteousness, repaying them for their wickedness, because they became subject to Satan, aligning themselves with the forces of darkness, and led astray those who dwell on the earth, corrupting their hearts and minds. Then punishment would come from the Lord of spirits, a divine reckoning for their sins. He would open the chambers of waters above the heavens and the fountains beneath the earth, unleashing a cataclysmic flood that would cleanse the earth of wickedness. The waters would be joined above and below until they swept away those who live in unrighteousness, drowning the wicked in a torrent of divine judgment. And when they finally recognized the evil they worked upon the earth, their regret would be too late, their repentance unable to undo the damage they had caused. By that same judgment, they would perish, their fate sealed by their own wickedness. Afterward, I heard the head of days speak with sorrow, his voice filled with grief and compassion. In vain have I destroyed all who dwell on the earth. His lament echoing through the heavens. And he swore by his great name that he would not do so again, promising to temper his wrath with mercy. He would set a sign in heaven as a pledge between him and the earth, a covenant of peace and forgiveness, so long as heaven remains above the earth, a symbol of his unwavering commitment. Yet he also declared that, in the day of tribulation and pain, chastisement and wrath would still rest upon the unrepentant, those who stubbornly refused to turn from their wicked ways. Then I heard a warning spoken to the mighty kings of the earth, a pronouncement that shook their earthly power. You will behold the elect one. See how he sits on the throne of glory and judges Azal and all his hosts in the name of the Lord of spirits, his authority absolute and unquestionable. And I saw angels of punishment moving, carrying scourges and chains of iron and bronze, instruments of divine justice. I asked, "Where are they going?" Filled with trepidation. He said, "To their elect and beloved ones, those who have chosen to align themselves with the forces of darkness, so they may be cast into the chasm of the abyss, a bottomless pit of eternal torment. And that valley would be filled with them, their cries of anguish echoing through the darkness. Their days would end, their deception would no longer be counted, their influence extinguished forever." Then I saw unrest rising among nations, chaos spreading across the earth. I saw the angels rushing east toward the Parthians and the Mess, stirring kings, awakening them like lions, inciting them to war, driving them like hungry wolves among flocks, their hunger for power and conquest insatiable. They trampled lands, leaving devastation in their wake. They surged forward, their armies unstoppable, but the city of the righteous stood like a barrier, a beacon of hope in the midst of chaos. And then, the nations turned on themselves, consumed by internal strife. Brother against brother, son against father, no one recognizing their own blood, families torn apart by hatred and violence, corpses without number littering the battlefields. And then I saw Sheol open its jaws and swallow sinners in the presence of the elect, their earthly lives extinguished in an instant. After this, I saw another host, wagons and men riding them, coming on the winds from east and west and south, a celestial army sweeping across the heavens. The sound of their approach shook the world, its foundations trembling with divine power. The pillars of the earth moved, its stability threatened by the forces unleashed from above. The noise was heard from one end of heaven to the other in a single day, a resounding declaration of God's ultimate authority. And then, silence turned into worship, a hush that fell over all creation. All fell down and worshipped the Lord of spirits, acknowledging his supreme dominion. And this was the end of the second parable, the conclusion of one chapter in God's divine plan. Chapter 3, the third parable, a new revelation of God's eternal truth. I began to speak the third parable, a parable concerning the righteous and the elect, a message of hope and salvation. And I lifted my voice and said, "Blessed are you, you righteous, for your devotion has earned you God's eternal favor. Blessed are you, you elect, for you have been chosen to inherit his divine kingdom, because your portion will be glorious, a reward beyond earthly comprehension. I was shown your future, and it was filled with light, a beacon of hope that shines eternally. The righteous will walk in the light of the sun, basking in its warmth and radiance, and the elect will dwell in the light of eternal life, their souls forever illuminated by God's divine grace. Your days will not end, for you have inherited eternal life, a promise that transcends the limitations of earthly existence. The days of the holy will be beyond number, their time in God's presence stretching into eternity. You will seek the light and you will find righteousness with the Lord of spirits, for he is the source of all truth and goodness. Peace will rest upon you in the name of the eternal Lord, a blessing that surpasses all understanding. And I saw that heaven itself would speak to the holy ones, offering divine guidance and wisdom. Seek out the secrets of righteousness, the heritage of faith. Pursue the path of truth and understanding. For on the earth it would shine like the sun, dispelling the darkness of sin and ignorance. The darkness would pass away, its power diminished in the face of God's divine light. A light would rise that never ends, its brilliance illuminating the path to salvation. And no limit of days would ever reach it, for its source is eternal and boundless. Because darkness would first be destroyed, its influence extinguished forever, and the light of uprightness would be established forever before the Lord of Spirits, a testament to his unwavering justice. Then my eyes were opened to mysteries, revealing truths beyond mortal comprehension. I saw the secrets of lightning, its power and purpose unveiled. How it is released, unleashed from the heavens with incredible force. How it strikes, delivering its energy to the earth. How it carries judgment, serving as an instrument of God's divine will. I learned that it can become blessing or curse depending on the will of the Lord of Spirits, its power capable of both destruction and renewal. I saw the secrets of thunder, the voice of God echoing through the heavens. How its voice rolls through heaven, reverberating through the celestial sphere, and how its sound is heard when it resounds above, a declaration of God's supreme authority. And I was made to see judgments executed on earth, whether for well-being and blessing or for curse, according to the word of the Lord of Spirits, his divine pronouncements shaping the course of human events. After that, all the secrets of lights and lightning were shown to me again, their purpose and power revealed in greater detail. They illuminate for blessing, bestowing God's favor upon the righteous, and they flash for satisfying, fulfilling his divine will, each according to command, each serving its designated purpose. Then I was given a marker in time like a seal on the vision, a specific moment that marked the beginning of this new revelation. In the 500th year, in the 7th month, on the 14th day in my life, this parable unfolded before me, unveiling the mysteries of God's divine plan. I saw a mighty trembling, a cataclysmic event so violent it made the heaven of heavens quake, its foundations shaking with unimaginable force. The host of the Most High was shaken, the celestial armies disrupted by the divine upheaval. Angels, thousands of thousands, 10,000 times 10,000, a vast and countless multitude, were stirred with great disquiet, their celestial forms agitated by the events unfolding before them. And the head of days sat upon the throne of his glory, his presence radiating divine power, and angels and the righteous stood around him, their faces filled with awe and reverence. But when I saw it, strength left my body, overwhelmed by the magnitude of the vision. A great trembling seized me, my body shaking uncontrollably. Fear took hold of me, gripping my heart with icy fingers. My loins gave way, my legs unable to support my weight. My insides turned weak, my stomach churning with nausea and dread, and I fell upon my face, prostrate before the divine presence. Then Michael sent one of the holy ones to me, a celestial messenger of comfort and strength, and he raised me up, lifting me from my prone position. When he lifted me, my spirit returned, my soul restored by his divine touch, because I had not been able to endure the sight of that host or the commotion and the shaking of heaven, the celestial spectacle overwhelming my mortal senses. And Michael spoke to me, his voice calm and reassuring. Why are you disquieted by this vision? Why does this sight trouble you so deeply? Until now, this has been the day of mercy, a time of grace and forgiveness. The Lord has been merciful and long-suffering toward those who dwell on the earth, extending his compassion even to those who have strayed from his path. But then Michael's voice grew heavier, his tone shifting to a warning before a storm, a foreboding of impending judgment. When the day comes, the day of power, punishment, and judgment, when God's wrath is unleashed upon the wicked, the Lord of Spirits has prepared it for those who refuse the righteous law, for those who reject his divine commandments, for those who deny righteous judgment, those who scorn his divine justice, and for those who take his name in vain, those who profane his sacred title. That day is prepared, its arrival inevitable. For the elect, a covenant, a promise of eternal life, but for sinners, an inquisition, a trial of fire that will expose their wickedness. And I was told that when punishment rests upon the guilty, it will not rest in vain. its effects far-reaching and profound. It will strike deep, reaching families and generations, its consequences echoing through time, until judgment is completed according to his mercy and patience, a balance between divine justice and unwavering compassion. Then I was shown a sign, strange and terrifying, a vision that chilled me to the bone. On that day, two monsters were separated, their destinies forever intertwined. The female was named Leviathan, a creature of immense power and scale, appointed to dwell in the abyss of the ocean over the fountains of the waters, ruling the depths of the sea. The male was named Behemoth, a beast of equal magnitude, and he occupied a desolate wilderness called Dene, roaming a barren landscape. East of the garden where the righteous and elect dwell, near the place where my grandfather was taken up, the seventh from Adam, a sacred location where the veil between the earthly and divine realms was thin. I asked that the angel would show me their power, how they were divided in one day, one cast into the sea, the other into the wilderness, yearning to comprehend the mysteries of creation. But the angel said to me, his voice firm and unwavering, "Son of man, you are seeking to know what is hidden, attempting to unravel the mysteries of God's divine plan." Then he began to show me mysteries first and last, above and below, revealing the secrets of creation from its very beginning to its ultimate end. He showed me the foundation of heaven and the ends of the earth, the vast expanse of creation. He showed me chambers of winds, how they are divided, how they are weighed, how their portals are counted, revealing the intricate mechanisms that govern the forces of nature. He showed me the power of moonlight and its fitting measure, the delicate balance that sustains life on earth. He showed me the divisions of stars, each by name, each in its appointed order, revealing the celestial tapestry that adorns the night sky. He showed me thunder, how it has places of rest while it waits for its peal, its power held in reserve until the moment of its release. He showed me lightning, how it is released in divisions so it may strike, its energy channeled and focused for maximum impact. And I learned that thunder and lightning are inseparable, moving together through the spirit, never truly separated, their power and purpose intertwined. When lightning flashes, thunder speaks, the two forces acting in perfect unison, and the spirit enforces pause and timing like a bridle that restrains and releases, controlling their power and direction, pushing their sound and power across the quarters of the earth, unleashing their energy upon the world. He showed me the spirit of the sea, masculine and strong, a force of nature that both sustains and threatens life, drawing the waters back like rains, then driving them forward so they disperse among the mountains, controlling the ebb and flow of the tides. He showed me the spirit of Horus, assigned an angel, its power guided by a celestial being. He showed me the spirit of Hail, guarded by a good angel, its icy projectiles directed by divine will. He showed me the spirit of Snow, strong with its own special spirit inside it, rising like smoke, its name called Frost, revealing the beauty and power of winter. The spirit of Mist had its own chamber, glorious in light and in darkness, in winter and in summer, with an angel assigned to it, its influence pervasive throughout the seasons. The spirit of Dew dwelt at the ends of heaven, connected to the chambers of rain, its ethereal presence nourishing the earth. Its course was winter and summer, its influence shaping the seasons, and its clouds were joined to the clouds of mist, one giving to the other, a symbiotic relationship that sustained the cycle of life. And when the spirit of rain goes out, angels open the chamber and lead it forth, releasing its life-giving waters upon the earth, and it spreads over the whole earth and joins the waters on the ground, nourishing all living things. For the waters are nourishment for those who dwell on the earth, given from the Most High in heaven, a gift from the divine realm. And because of this, there is measure for rain, ensuring a balanced ecosystem, and angels are entrusted with it, carefully managing its distribution. These were the things I saw toward the garden of the righteous, glimpses of the divine harmony that sustained the world. Then the angel of peace who was with me spoke and said, "These two monsters, Leviathan and Behemoth, prepared according to the greatness of God, shall feed, fulfilling their designated purpose in the divine plan." After this, I saw long cords given to certain angels, celestial beings tasked with measuring the boundaries of creation. They took wings and flew north, their forms disappearing into the distance. I asked, "Why have they taken cords and gone?" Filled with curiosity. He answered, "They have gone to measure, to define the limits of God's creation." And the angel with me said, "They will bring the measures of the righteous and the ropes of the righteous to the righteous, defining the boundaries of their inheritance. So they may hold fast to the name of the Lord of spirits forever, their faith unwavering and their devotion absolute. The elect will begin to dwell with the elect, their destinies intertwined in God's divine plan. These measures will be given to faith, strengthening their commitment to God's will, and they will strengthen righteousness, ensuring that justice prevails. And these measures will reveal the secrets of the depths of the earth, unlocking the mysteries that lie hidden beneath the surface, so that those destroyed by desert, their lives cut short by the harshness of the environment, devoured by beasts, consumed by the dangers of the wild, and swallowed by fish of the sea, lost to the depths of the ocean, may return and stand on the day of the elect one, resurrected to eternal life. For none shall be destroyed before the Lord of spirits, his compassion extending to all creation, and none can be destroyed, for his power is absolute and unwavering. Then I saw the heavens respond, reacting to the presence of the divine. All who dwell above received command, power, one voice, and one light fire, their celestial forms united in purpose and energy. And with their first words, they blessed and praised and extolled with wisdom, offering their adoration to the Lord of spirits. They were wise in utterance and in the spirit of life, their words imbued with divine knowledge and power. Then the Lord of spirits placed the elect one on the throne of glory, his chosen servant elevated to a position of supreme authority, and he would judge even the holy above in heaven, holding all accountable for their actions. Their deeds would be weighed in the balance, and their righteousness would be assessed. Then a command went out to the kings and mighty and exalted, those who dwell on the earth, a summons to acknowledge the authority of the elect one. Open your eyes, lift up your horns if you are able to recognize the elect one. Acknowledge his power and authority, if you are capable of discerning the truth. And the Lord of spirits seated him on the throne of glory, his presence illuminating the cosmos with divine radiance. And the spirit of righteousness was poured out upon him, endowing him with divine justice, and the word of his mouth would slay the sinners, his pronouncements bringing judgment to the wicked. The unrighteous would be destroyed from before his face, their wickedness unable to withstand his divine presence. Then, in that day, kings and mighty men would rise, their earthly power unable to shield them from God's judgment, exalted ones, rulers of the earth, and they would see and recognize how he sits on the throne of glory, acknowledging his supreme authority. Righteousness would be judged before him, his divine justice applied to all creation. No lying word could be spoken in his presence, for his truth would pierce through all deception, and pain would seize them like a woman in labor, sudden, unavoidable, overwhelming, their anguish mirroring the pain of childbirth. They would look at one another in terror, faces fallen, seized by anguish, witnessing the consequences of their wickedness, because they see the Son of Man sitting on the throne of his glory, witnessing the fulfillment of God's divine plan. And yet, something surprising was shown to me, a revelation that defied all expectations. The kings, the mighty, all who held sway over the earth, would offer blessings, glorification, and praise to the one who reigned supreme, the one who had remained hidden from view. For since the dawn of time, the Son of Man had been concealed, his presence a mystery to the world. The Most High, in his infinite wisdom, had sheltered him in the embrace of his power, and at the appointed hour, revealed him to the chosen elect, those predestined for salvation. The congregation of the elect, the holy ones, would be gathered together, scattered like seed across the land, only to be brought forth again, united in purpose. And all the elect would stand before him on that momentous day, their hearts filled with anticipation. Then the kings, the mighty rulers of the earth, humbled and brought low, would prostrate themselves, falling on their faces in an act of worship. They would place their hope, their last vestige of faith, in the Son of Man, recognizing him as the ultimate authority. They would offer petitions, desperate pleas for mercy, begging for forgiveness for the transgressions of their past. But the Lord of Spirits, unmoved by their belated repentance, would push them away, driving them swiftly from his presence, their cries unanswered. Shame would wash over their faces, a crimson tide of regret. Darkness would deepen, enveloping them in a suffocating blanket of despair. And he would deliver them into the hands of the angels of punishment, agents of divine retribution, tasked with executing vengeance upon them. Because they had oppressed his children, his chosen elect, they would be made a spectacle for the righteous to witness, a cautionary tale etched in the annals of eternity. The righteous would rejoice, not out of cruelty or malice, but because the wrath of the Lord of Spirits had finally descended upon the oppressors, and his sword, a symbol of justice, was sated with their blood. But for the righteous and elect, there was deliverance, a path to salvation. They would be saved on that day, rescued from the clutches of damnation, and never again would they have to gaze upon the faces of sinners and unrighteous men, their eyes spared the sight of such depravity. The Lord of Spirits would abide over them, a protective shield against the storms of the world. And with the Son of Man, they would partake in a celestial banquet. They would lie down in peaceful repose, and they would rise to eternal life, forever and ever. The righteous and elect would rise from the earth, transformed and renewed. Their faces would no longer be downcast, burdened by sorrow. They would be clothed with garments of glory, radiant and shimmering, garments of life bestowed upon them by the Lord of Spirits. Their garments would never grow old, never fade. Their glory would never pass away, an everlasting testament to their righteousness. Then I saw another moment, a vision of desperation, coming too late for redemption. Mighty kings, once proud and arrogant, would now beg for a moment's respite from the relentless angels of punishment, a brief pause in their torment. They would crave a final opportunity to worship and confess their sins, to seek solace in the divine presence they had long ignored. And they would speak, their voices trembling with regret, saying, "Blessed is the Lord of Spirits, the Lord of Kings, the Lord of the Mighty, the Lord of the Rich, the Lord of Glory, the Lord of Wisdom. Your power is magnificent in every secret thing, from generation to generation, a hidden tapestry of divine design. Your glory is eternal, a boundless ocean of light. Deep are your secrets, beyond human comprehension. Your righteousness cannot be measured, its depth unfathomable. Now, in the face of eternal judgment, we have learned we should have blessed the King of Kings, the ultimate sovereign. But even as they speak these words of contrition, they would mourn, their hearts heavy with grief. We long for rest, but we cannot find it. Our pleas are met with silence. Light has vanished from us, leaving us lost in eternal darkness. Darkness is our dwelling forever, a prison of our own making. We did not believe. We did not glorify the name of the Lord of Spirits. We trusted in our scepter, in our earthly power. We trusted in our fleeting glory, now nothing more than dust. In suffering and tribulation, we are not saved. We find no respite, no escape. Only the crushing knowledge that our Lord is true in his works, true in his judgments, true in his justice. And they would confess among themselves, their voices laced with despair. Our souls are full of ill-gotten gain, the fruits of our unrighteous deeds. Yet it cannot keep us from descending into the burden of Sheol, the abyss of eternal torment. Then their faces would be filled with darkness and shame before the Son of Man, the embodiment of divine judgment. They would be driven from his presence, banished from the light, and the sword of justice would remain before his face, a constant reminder of their transgressions. And I heard it spoken plainly, a decree etched in the fabric of reality. This is the ordinance and judgment for the mighty, for the kings, for the exalted, for those who possess the earth, before the Lord of Spirits. And then I saw other forms hidden there, lurking in the shadows, entities veiled in mystery. And I heard the voice of an angel say, "These are the angels who descended to the earth, who revealed what was hidden to the children of men and seduced mankind into sin, corrupting the natural order. Enoch, Book 3, the Book of Noah. Chapter 1, Birth of Noah. After many days, my son Methuselah took a wife for his son Lamech. She conceived and brought forth a son. But this child was unlike any other I had ever heard of. His body was white as snow, yet red like a blooming rose, a paradox of purity and vitality. The hair of his head, his long locks, were white as wool, shimmering like freshly fallen snow. His eyes were beautiful, pools of celestial light, and when he opened them, light poured out like sunrise, banishing the shadows. The whole house brightened as though the sun itself had entered the room, bathing everything in a warm, golden glow. And then the child did something that made grown men tremble, a sight that defied the natural order. While still in the hands of the midwife, he rose, opened his mouth, and spoke blessing to the Lord of righteousness. His voice clear and resonant, filled with an otherworldly power. When Lamech saw it, fear struck him like a spear, piercing his heart with icy dread. He fled from the house, abandoning his newborn son, and ran to his father, Methuselah, seeking answers and reassurance. He said, "I have begotten a strange son, unlike any man, resembling the sons of the God of heaven. His eyes are like rays of the sun, piercing the darkness. His face is glorious, radiating an unearthly light, and it seems to me he has not sprung from me, but from the angels, beings of pure spirit. I fear a wonder is coming upon the earth, a cataclysmic event that will change the world forever. Go to Enoch our father, and learn the truth. He possesses the knowledge of the divine, the secrets of the ages. His dwelling is among the angels, in the celestial realms, where he communes with the divine." When Methuselah heard those words, words dripping with fear and uncertainty, he came to me far away to the ends of the earth because he had heard I was there, dwelling in solitude, contemplating the mysteries of the universe. He cried aloud, his voice echoing across the desolate landscape, and I heard his voice, carried on the wind. I came to him and said, "Here I am, my son. Why have you come, traversing such a vast distance, enduring such hardship?" He answered, trembling with urgency, his eyes wide with alarm, "I have come because of great anxiety, a burden that weighs heavily upon my soul. A son has been born to Lamech, one unlike any other, a child of mystery and wonder. His body is whiter than snow, redder than a rose, a symbol of both purity and passion. His hair is whiter than wool, shimmering like moonlight. His eyes are like the rays of the sun, piercing the shadows. When he opened them, the whole house lit up, as if bathed in divine radiance. And he rose in the midwife's hands and blessed the Lord of heaven, a babe speaking words of power. Lamech is terrified, convinced that the child is in the likeness of the angels, a being not entirely of this world. I have come so you will tell me the truth, reveal the meaning of this extraordinary birth." And I answered him plainly, without hesitation, because the Lord had already shown me what was coming, the events that would unfold upon the earth. I told him, "The Lord will do a new thing on the earth, a momentous act that will reshape the destiny of mankind. I have seen it in vision, the tapestry of the future woven before my eyes. In the days of my father Jared, some of the angels transgressed the command of the Lord, defying the divine decree. They united themselves with women, drawn by earthly desires, sinned with them, forsaking their celestial nature, took wives, and produced children, offspring of both the divine and the mortal realms. From this came giants, beings of immense size and power, born not according to the spirit, but according to the flesh, their appetites insatiable, their hearts filled with darkness. And because of this transgression, there will be great punishment, a reckoning for the sins of the angels and their offspring. The earth will be cleansed from impurity, purged of the corruption that has taken root. A great destruction is coming over the whole earth, a cataclysmic event that will sweep away the wickedness of mankind. A deluge will come, flooding the world, engulfing everything in its path. And this destruction will last for 1 year, a time of sorrow and lamentation, a period of divine purification." Then I spoke directly about the child, addressing Methuselah's specific concerns. This son who has been born to you will remain on the earth, spared from the coming destruction. He will be preserved, protected by divine grace. His 3 sons will be saved with him when all mankind perishes, spared from the flood because of their righteousness. Go tell Lamech the child is truly his son, flesh of his flesh, bone of his bone. Call his name Noah, for he will bring comfort to the earth after the devastation, a beacon of hope in a world consumed by despair. And I told Methuselah something even heavier, a revelation that weighed upon my soul, because I had read the record of heaven, the scrolls of destiny. After that, after the flood subsides and the earth is repopulate, more unrighteousness will rise again, a persistent stain on the fabric of humanity. Generation after generation will transgress, falling prey to temptation, until a generation of righteousness appears, a people dedicated to the divine will. Then transgression will be broken, its power diminished. Sin will pass away, its influence waning, and good will come upon the earth, flourishing like a garden in spring. And I said again, so there would be no doubt, no room for misinterpretation. Go tell Lamech the child is his son. This is no lie, no fabrication of the imagination. This is the truth revealed to me by the divine. Methuselah returned to Lamech and declared it, relaying my message with unwavering conviction. And the child was named Noah because he would comfort the earth after the devastation, a promise of renewal and hope in a world scarred by destruction. Chapter 2. Calling Enoch. In those days, Noah looked upon the earth and saw it sinking into ruin, its foundations crumbling, its spirit broken. He could feel destruction drawing near, a dark cloud gathering on the horizon. So he rose and went to the ends of the earth, seeking guidance and solace, and he cried out to me, his grandfather, calling my name with an embittered voice, filled with both sorrow and urgency. Hear me, hear me, hear me. And I answered, tell me what is happening on the earth, what is causing such turmoil and unrest. Why is the world shaking, trembling on the verge of collapse? Why is it in such evil plight? Lest I also perish with it, lest I be consumed by the coming darkness. Then the earth itself responded, as if possessed of a voice. A great commotion arose, a tumult that shook the very heavens. A voice was heard from heaven, a decree of judgment. I fell on my face, humbled and terrified, and in that moment, I was shown what Noah needed to know, the truth behind the impending doom. A command had gone out from the presence of the Lord, an irreversible judgment. Ruin was determined for those who dwell on earth because they had learned the secrets of the angels, delving into forbidden knowledge, the violence of the Satans, and hidden powers that were never meant for man. They had searched out sorcery, seeking to manipulate the natural world through dark arts. They had learned witchcraft, dabbling in forbidden rituals and incantations. They had crafted molten images, worshipping idols of their own making, forsaking the true God. They had pursued forbidden knowledge, even the hidden arts of metals and the mysteries of what rises from the dust and what flows from secret fountains beneath the earth, seeking to control the elements and unlock the secrets of creation. The Lord spoke to me and said, because of their unrighteousness, their blatant disregard for my laws, judgment has been determined, and it will not be withheld forever. The scales of justice have tipped, and the time for retribution is at hand. Because of the sorceries they have searched out and learned, the earth and those who dwell on it will be destroyed, cleansed by fire and flood. And Noah was told this, the full extent of the coming devastation. They have no place of repentance, no opportunity for forgiveness, because they revealed what was hidden, sharing forbidden knowledge with the unworthy. They are damned, their fate sealed, their souls lost. But Noah was different, a beacon of righteousness in a world consumed by darkness. The Lord of Spirits knew Noah was pure, his heart untainted by the corruption that had spread across the land, guiltless concerning these secrets, untouched by the forbidden knowledge. His name would be preserved among the holy, etched in the annals of eternity. His seed would be appointed for honor, for kingship, and for a future fountain of righteousness without number, a legacy that would endure for generations to come. Then I was shown angels of punishment, terrifying figures of divine wrath, prepared to unleash the powers of the waters beneath the earth, to bring judgment and destruction upon the wicked. But I also saw mercy holding judgment back, a glimmer of hope amidst the impending doom. The Lord commanded the angels not to release the waters yet, to restrain them, to delay the inevitable. For those angels were over the powers of the deep, guardians of the subterranean realms. After that, I withdrew from Noah and went away from my presence among men, retreating into solitude to contemplate the mysteries of the divine plan. Chapter 3, Judgment of Angels. Then the word of God came to Noah, a message of hope and reassurance, and I was made to know what was spoken to him, the divine promise for the future. Noah, your lot has come up before me, revealing your righteousness and devotion. Without blame, you have lived a life of love and uprightness, a testament to your unwavering faith. The angels are working, preparing the earth for the coming flood, executing the divine decree. When they complete their task, when the world is cleansed of its wickedness, I will place my hand upon it and preserve it, shielding it from utter destruction. From you will come seed of life, a new beginning for humanity, and the earth will not remain without inhabitant, desolate and empty. I will establish your seed forever, ensuring the continuation of mankind. Those with you will spread abroad, populating the earth anew. It will not be unfruitful, but will flourish and thrive. It will multiply on the earth in the name of the Lord, a testament to his enduring power and grace. Then I was shown judgment prepared for the angels who taught unrighteousness, the fallen ones who had corrupted mankind with forbidden knowledge. They would be imprisoned in the burning valley my grandfather had shown me long ago, a place of eternal torment, their sins forever etched in the fiery landscape, west among mountains of gold, silver, iron, tin, and soft metal, a landscape of both beauty and desolation. I saw that valley and it was alive with convulsion, writhing in agony, fire and water twisting together, a chaotic dance of destruction, the ground trembling, the waters heaving. From molten fire and violent upheaval rose the smell of sulfur, a pungent reminder of the divine wrath. Beneath that land, the valley burned, consumed by an eternal fire, because it had become the place of punishment for angels who led mankind astray, betraying their celestial duties. Streams of fire ran through its channels, paths of judgment, where these angels were punished for corrupting the earth, poisoning the minds of men with forbidden knowledge. And I was shown a terrifying paradox, a truth that defied logic and reason. Those waters would serve two purposes, a duality of blessing and curse. For kings and mighty men and the exalted, those who dwell on earth, they would become a healing for the body, alleviating their physical ailments, but for the spirit, punishment, a constant reminder of their wickedness. Because their spirits were full of lust, driven by earthly desires, they would be punished in their flesh, suffering the consequences of their sins. They denied the Lord of spirits, turning away from the true God. They looked upon their punishment day by day and still refused to believe in his name. Their hearts hardened, their souls lost. And I was shown the power of this oath, an oath unlike any other, a binding agreement between the divine and the celestial realms. It was mighty, its power beyond comprehension. It was unbreakable, its terms inviolable. And it was placed into the hand of Michael, the archangel, guardian of the celestial realms. These are the secrets bound within that oath, and they are strong beyond measure, holding the very fabric of reality together. By this oath the heavens were suspended before the world was ever formed, and they remain so forever, a testament to the divine power. By this oath the earth was founded upon the waters, rising from the primordial abyss. And from the hidden chambers of the mountains flow beautiful waters from the beginning of creation and unto eternity, sustaining life and nourishing the land. By this oath the sea was set in place and sand was appointed as its boundary against the day of anger, a barrier against the divine wrath. It does not cross that line, respecting the boundaries set by the divine. It has never crossed it from the creation of the world to everlasting, a testament to the unyielding power of the oath. By this oath the depths were secured, fixed in their stations, never drifting, never shaking from eternity to eternity, a foundation upon which all creation rests. By this oath, the sun and the moon complete their appointed course, following the divine timetable. They do not deviate, unwavering in their orbits. They do not rebel, accepting their designated roles. They keep their ordinance from age to age, a testament to the divine order. By this oath, the stars complete their paths, each one guided by an unseen hand. He calls them each by name, and they answer him from eternity to eternity, acknowledging his supreme authority. This oath holds dominion over them all, binding them to their celestial courses. Through it, their paths are preserved, their courses do not collapse, and their order does not fail, ensuring the stability of the cosmos. When these things were revealed, there was great joy among them, a celebration of the divine order. They blessed, they glorified, and they extolled because the name of the Son of Man had been revealed to them, a moment of profound significance. Then I saw him seated upon the throne of his glory, radiating divine light, and the full measure of judgment was given into his hands, entrusting him with the power to determine the fate of mankind. By his authority, the sinners were made to pass away, erased from existence, destroyed from the face of the earth, along with those who led the world astray, corrupting the innocent. They were bound with chains, their freedom taken away, their power extinguished. They were imprisoned in their place of destruction, confined to the realms of eternal torment, their sins forever etched upon their souls, and their works vanished, wiped away from the earth, leaving no trace of their wickedness. From that moment forward, nothing corruptible would remain, the earth cleansed of its impurities. For the Son of Man had appeared, his presence banishing the shadows. He had taken his seat on the throne of glory, and all evil fled before his presence, unable to withstand his divine radiance. His word went forth firm, unstoppable, eternal, strong before the Lord of spirits, a declaration of divine justice, and I knew what was sworn by this oath would never fail, its power unyielding, its purpose unwavering. Enoch, Book 4, The Kingdom of Heaven, Chapter 1. Enoch is taken. After these things, after witnessing the divine judgment and the promise of salvation, my name was lifted up from among those who dwell on the earth and raised to the Son of Man and to the Lord of spirits while I was still alive, a testament to my righteousness and devotion. I was carried upward on the chariots of the Spirit, transported to the celestial realms, soaring through the heavens. And from that moment, my name vanished from among men, erased from the mortal records, and I was no longer numbered with those who dwell on the earth. My earthly existence transcended. I was set between the two winds, between the north and the west, at the crossroads of the celestial realms, where the angels measured out for me a dwelling prepared for the righteous and the elect, a sanctuary of eternal peace and joy. There I saw the first fathers, the righteous who have dwelt in that place from the beginning of the world, the patriarchs and prophets of old, united in their devotion to the divine. Then my spirit was translated and I ascended into the heavens, leaving behind the limitations of the mortal realm. I saw the holy sons of God walking upon flames of fire, their steps guided by the divine, their garments white, radiant and pure, their faces radiant like snow, reflecting the light of the celestial realms. 2 streams of fire flowed before me, shining like hyacinth, illuminating the path to the divine presence. And I fell upon my face before the Lord of spirits, humbled by the magnificence of his glory. Michael took hold of my right hand, offering his guidance and protection, lifted me up, and led me into the secrets of righteousness, revealing the mysteries of the divine order. He showed me the ends of heaven, the furthest reaches of the celestial realms, the chambers of the stars, the paths of the luminaries, mapping the cosmos before my very eyes, where they proceed from, and where they return before the face of the holy ones, their movements guided by divine will. My spirit was carried into the heaven of heavens, the highest realm of celestial existence. And there I saw a structure built entirely of crystal, shimmering with ethereal light, encircled by tongues of living fire, a protective barrier against the unholy. A fiery girdle surrounded it, a ring of intense heat, and from its 4 sides flowed streams of living fire that guarded the house, preventing the entrance of the unworthy. Around it stood seraphim, cherubim, and ophanim, the celestial guardians, the watchers who never sleep and who guard the throne of his glory, ensuring the sanctity of the divine presence. I saw angels beyond number, thousands upon thousands and 10,000 times 10,000, an unquantifiable multitude, encircling the house in perfect order, a testament to the divine harmony. Then came Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Fuel, the archangels of the celestial realms, and with them He, the head of days, the ancient of days, whose hair was white as wool, a symbol of eternal wisdom, and whose garments were beyond all description, radiating a light that defied human comprehension. I collapsed before him, overwhelmed by his divine majesty. My body weakened, unable to withstand the intensity of his presence. My spirit was transformed, elevated to a higher plane of existence, and I cried out with power, blessing, glorifying, and extolling him, offering my praise to the divine Creator. And the praise that went forth from my mouth was pleasing before him, resonating with the divine harmony. Then the head of day spoke and said, "This is the Son of Man, the embodiment of righteousness, born unto righteousness, destined to rule with justice and compassion. Righteousness abides with him and never departs, a constant companion on his divine journey. Peace was proclaimed to me in the name of the world to come, a promise of eternal peace and harmony. The righteous will walk in his ways, following his teachings, dwell with him forever, united in their devotion to the divine, and never be separated from him, bound together by an unbreakable bond of love and faith. Their days will be long, their lives filled with purpose, their path upright, guided by divine light, and their peace unending in the name of the Lord of Spirits, forever and ever, a testament to the eternal grace of the divine." Chapter 2, The Luminaries. Then I was shown the laws of the heavens, the immutable principles that govern the celestial realms. Uriel, the holy angel appointed over the lights, the guardian of the sun, moon, and stars, revealed to me the order of the sun, the moon, and the stars as they were established from the beginning and as they will remain until the new creation, their paths predestined, their purpose unwavering. I saw the sun rise through appointed eastern gates and set through western portals, guided by divine will, driven by the wind and burning with fire, a celestial furnace, never wandering from its path, its course unwavering. Through its course, the lengths of days and nights change, not by chance, but by command, reflecting the divine order. I saw how the year is completed in perfect justice, without error, without delay, a testament to the divine precision. The sun does not advance nor fall behind even a single day, its movements governed by an unseen hand. I saw the moon, lesser in light, but faithful in her course, a celestial mirror, receiving light in measured portions, waxing and waning according to appointed times, reflecting the divine rhythm. Her phases mark months, seasons, and sacred rhythms placed into the world, creating a tapestry of time. Nothing strays, adhering to the divine plan, nothing rushes ahead, respecting the established order, nothing falls behind, maintaining the celestial harmony. The sun and stars complete the years exactly 364 days, without deviation forever, a testament to the divine precision. I saw the 12 gates of heaven from which the winds are released, each gate guarded by a celestial being. Some winds bring rain, dew, blessing, and prosperity, nurturing the earth and sustaining life. Others bring drought, frost, destruction, and judgment, unleashing the forces of nature. Each wind is released at its appointed time and restrained when its work is complete, governed by the divine will. I saw the quarters of the earth, the east, the south, the west, and the north, each established with purpose, a balanced and harmonious creation. And in the north, I saw a place set apart, the garden of righteousness, a sanctuary of eternal peace and beauty. I saw 7 great mountains, towering peaks that reach towards the heavens, 7 mighty rivers, flowing with life-giving waters, vast seas, boundless expanses of water, islands and boundaries, defining the limits of the land, all measured, all restrained, all governed by command, reflecting the divine order. Even the winds obey, submitting to the divine authority. Uriel showed me that every star, every season, every storm, and every silence moves according to law, not chaos, each element guided by an unseen hand. And I wrote it all down exactly as it was shown to me, preserving the celestial secrets for future generations. Thus I was shown the kingdom of heaven, not as myth, not as poetry, but as structure, order, and authority, a realm governed by divine principles. Nothing in heaven moves without command, subject to the divine will. Nothing on earth escapes measure, everything is accounted for. And I, Enoch, saw these things so that those who dwell on the earth may know the truth of the divine order. The universe is not random, a chaotic jumble of events. Judgment is not forgotten. The scales of justice will eventually be balanced, and righteousness has a throne, a place of power and authority in the celestial realms. Chapter 3, Heavenly Tablets. In those days the angel Uriel answered and said to me, Behold, I have shown thee everything, Enoch, and I have revealed everything to thee, sharing the secrets of the celestial realms, that thou shouldst see this sun and this moon, and the leaders of the stars of the heaven, the celestial guides, and all those who turn them, their tasks and times and departures, the intricate dance of the cosmos. And in the days of the sinners, when wickedness prevails, the years shall be shortened, time itself distorted, and their seed shall be tardy on their lands and fields, crops failing, harvests meager, a sign of the divine displeasure. All things on the earth shall alter, the natural order disrupted, and shall not appear in their time, seasons shifting, climates changing, a reflection of the moral decay. The rain shall be kept back, the heavens withholding their bounty, and the heaven shall withhold it, the clouds barren, the earth parched. The fruits of the earth shall be backward, their growth stunted, and shall not grow in their time, the harvest delayed, the bounty diminished, and the fruits of the trees shall be withheld in their time, their branches bare, their potential unfulfilled. The moon shall alter her order and not appear at her time, her cycles disrupted, her presence erratic, a sign of celestial imbalance. In those days the sun shall be seen, and he shall journey in the evening on the extremity of the great chariot in the west, and shall shine more brightly than accords with the order of light, its intensity amplified, its behavior unpredictable. Many chiefs of the stars shall transgress the order, their courses disrupted, defying the divine plan. These shall alter their orbits and tasks and not appear at the seasons prescribed to them, their positions skewed, their movements erratic. The whole order of the stars shall be concealed from the sinners, their light obscured, and the thoughts of those on the earth shall err concerning them, their understanding clouded, their perceptions distorted. They shall be altered from all their ways, their paths misguided, their actions misdirected. Yea, they shall err and take them to be gods, worshipping false idols, forsaking the true God. Evil shall be multiplied upon them, and punishment shall come upon them so as to destroy all, cleansing the earth of wickedness. And he said unto me, Observe, Enoch, and heed the warnings of the divine. I observed those celestial tablets, meticulously deciphering the script etched upon them, diligently noting each individual detail. I scrutinized the heavenly tablets, absorbing every word, every symbol meticulously inscribed. My understanding deepened with each passing moment, the wisdom of the cosmos unfolding before my eyes. I read the book chronicling the deeds of humankind, a comprehensive record of every son and daughter of flesh destined to walk the earth, extending to the most distant generations. The scope of history, past, present, and future, lay bare before me. Music. Overwhelmed, I offered blessings to the great Lord, the King of eternal glory, for the magnificent tapestry of creation he had woven. My voice rose in praise, celebrating the divine architect of existence. I extolled the Lord for his boundless patience, marveling at his enduring grace towards humanity. I blessed him for the children of men, recognizing the potential for good within them. Then I proclaimed, Blessed is the man who finds his end in righteousness and goodness, a soul untainted by the ink of unrighteousness, against whom no shadow of judgment shall be cast. Then the 7 holy ones, beings of radiant light, guided me, gently placing me back upon the earth before the threshold of my dwelling. They spoke with voices that resonated with celestial harmony. Declare all that you have witnessed to your son, Methuselah. Show to all your children that no mortal flesh is righteous in the eyes of the Lord, for he is their creator, the ultimate judge of all. For 1 year we shall leave you amongst them, that you may impart your commands, instruct your offspring, and record your wisdom, to testify to all your descendants. In the 2nd year we shall return and take you from their midst. Let thy heart be strengthened, for the righteous shall proclaim righteousness to those who seek it. The just shall rejoice with the just, and offer congratulations unto one another in shared virtue. But the sinners shall perish alongside the sinners. The apostate shall descend into darkness with the apostate. Those who cling to righteousness shall face death because of the deeds of men, and be swept away on account of the actions of the godless. During those days the celestial voices ceased their discourse, and I returned to my people, offering blessings to the Lord of all creation. Chapter 4. 1 year dedicated to recording the divine message. Now, my son Methuselah, I recount all these events to you, carefully transcribing them for your benefit. Music. I have revealed to you everything, entrusting you with books containing all these sacred truths. Therefore, preserve these books, my son, received from your father's hand. Ensure their safekeeping and deliver them to the generations yet to come. I have bestowed wisdom upon you, upon your children, and their children in turn. Let them pass it on to their offspring generation after generation. This wisdom transcends earthly understanding. Those who truly grasp it shall find no rest until they learn, but shall listen intently, absorbing its essence with eager ears. It shall nourish their souls, pleasing them more than the finest food. Blessed are the righteous. Blessed are those who tread the path of righteousness, and refrain from sinning like the wicked. In the reckoning of all their days, as the sun journeys across the heavens, entering music and departing from the celestial portals for 30 days, guided by the heads of thousands within the order of stars, along with the 4 intercalary days, which divide the 4 seasons of the year, leading them and entering with them for 4 days each. Because of these intercalary days, men will err in their calculations and fail to properly account for them within the complete annual cycle. Indeed, humanity will falter and fail to recognize them accurately. Yet, they belong to the true reckoning of the year and are forever recorded in the celestial archives. One resides in the first portal, another in the 3rd, one in the 4th, and the final in the 6th. And thus, the year is completed in 364 days. And the record thereof is accurate, the recorded reckoning thereof precise. For the luminaries, the months, the festivals, the years, and the days, Uriel has shown and revealed to me, Uriel to whom the Lord of all creation has entrusted the host of heaven. He holds power over night and day in the heavens, illuminating the world with the light of the sun, moon, and stars. And all the powers of the heavens revolve in their circular chariots, obedient to his command. These are the orders of the stars, each setting in their appointed places, in their seasons and festivals, music and months. And these are the names of those who lead them, those who ensure they enter at their designated times, in their orders, in their seasons, in their months, in their periods of dominion, and in their positions. There are 4 leaders who divide the 4 parts of the year, entering first. After music them come the 12 leaders of the orders, dividing the months. And for the 360 days, there are heads over thousands who divide the days. And for the 4 intercalary days, there are the leaders who divide the 4 portions of the year. These heads over thousands are intercalated between leader and leader, each behind a station. But their leaders orchestrate the division. These are the names of the leaders who divide the 4 parts of the year, which are ordained by divine will: Milkier, Palem, Melald, and Neril. And the names of those who lead them: Admiral, Eziel, and Iliel. These 3 follow the leaders of the orders. And there is one that follows the 3 leaders of the orders, which follow those leaders of stations that divide the 4 parts of the year. In the beginning of the year, Melagel rises first and rules, who is named Tammy and son. And all the days of his dominion, whilst he bears rule, are 91 days. And these are the signs of the days to be seen on earth during his reign: sweat, heat, and calms. All the trees bear fruit. Leaves adorn all the trees. The harvest of wheat appears, the rose blooms, and all the flowers burst forth in the field. But the trees of the winter season wither. And these are the names of the leaders under him, Berel, Zelib, and another who is added ahead of 1,000 called Hilujasf, and the days of his dominion come to an end. The next leader after him is Helamel, whom one names the shining sun, and all the days of his light are 91 days. And these are the signs of days on the earth, glowing heat and dryness. The trees ripen their fruits and produce all their fruits ripe and ready. The sheep pair and become pregnant. All the fruits of the earth are gathered in, along with everything that is in the fields and the winepress. These things take place in the days of his dominion. These are the names and the orders and the leaders of those heads of thousands. Jelgel, Keel, Heel, and the name of the head of 1,000 which is added to them, Asphale. And the days of his dominion are at an end. Chapter 5. Visions. First-person documentary/movie-style narration. I kept the sacred tone but made it flow like voice-over. My son Methuselah, come close and listen. What I'm about to tell you is not rumor, not imagination, not a tale to entertain the night. These are the visions that were placed before my eyes. Visions I saw before I ever took a wife. 2 dreams, unlike each other, yet bound by the same warning. The first vision, the collapse. The first came in the days when my hand was still learning to write, when I was but a youth, barely acquainted with the skill of inscription. I was resting in the house of my grandfather, Mahalil, surrounded by the comforting presence of family and the familiar warmth of our ancestral home. The night was quiet, a stillness that cloaked the world in peaceful slumber. And then, without warning, heaven itself began to break, shattering the tranquility in a cataclysmic unraveling. In the vision, I watched the sky collapse like a great roof tearing loose from its foundations, the very fabric of existence splitting and unraveling before my horrified gaze. Then it was carried off, a monstrous avalanche of celestial debris, and crashed down toward the earth with unimaginable force. When it struck, the world beneath it reacted in a way no man should ever witness. The earth opened and was swallowed into a great abyss, a yawning chasm that devoured the land in an instant of utter devastation. Mountains hung on top of mountains as if creation had lost its balance, a grotesque mockery of the natural order, a testament to the utter chaos that had been unleashed. Hills sank into hills, swallowed by the insatiable depths, erased from existence as if they had never been. Trees, high ancient trees, were ripped from their roots, hurled like broken spears, and buried in the darkness, their proud forms reduced to shattered remnants. And in that moment, a cry rose out of me before I even understood it, a primal scream of anguish and despair that erupted from the depths of my soul. It fell into my mouth like fire, burning with the intensity of the vision itself. The earth is destroyed. My grandfather woke me as I lay near him, his aged eyes filled with concern. He saw the terror etched upon my face and said, "Why do you cry out, my son? Why do you lament like this?" So I told him everything, every shaking mountain, every collapsing hill, every tree swallowed by the abyss, sparing no detail of the apocalyptic scene that had unfolded before me. And Mahalil, wise and heavy with years, his face etched with the accumulated knowledge of generations, looked at me with a fear that wasn't panic, but recognition, a somber understanding of the profound implications of my dream. He said, "You have seen something terrible. This dream reaches into the secret of the earth's sin. It must sink and be destroyed with a great destruction." Then he said something that still burns in me, words that echoed through the chambers of my heart. "Rise, my son. Petition the Lord of glory. You are a believer. Ask him that a remnant may remain so he does not destroy the whole earth. For from heaven this will come, and upon the earth there will be great destruction." So I rose, filled with a sense of urgency and purpose. And I prayed, implored, begged, pleaded, pouring out the depths of my soul in supplication. I wrote down my prayer for generations who would come after us, a record of my entreaties to the divine. Then I went outside under the open sky, beneath the watchful gaze of the heavens. And I looked again at the world as it was in the beginning, trying to reconcile the beauty and order of creation with the horrifying destruction I had witnessed. The sun rising in the east, the moon setting in the west, a few stars still holding their stations, steadfast in the face of impending doom. Earth still standing, music still breathing, a fragile testament to the enduring power of life. And I blessed the Lord of judgment, acknowledging his ultimate authority over all things. Because even in a world headed for ruin, the sun still runs the path appointed to it, obedient to the divine will. I lifted my hands in righteousness and spoke with the tongue of flesh God gave to men, my voice resonating with both reverence and desperation. And I said, "Blessed are you, O Lord, King, great and mighty in your greatness, Lord of the whole creation of heaven, King of kings and God of the whole world. Your dominion endures forever. The heavens are your throne. The earth is your footstool. You made all things and you rule all things. Nothing is too hard for you. You see and hear everything. Nothing hides from you. And now the angels of your heavens are guilty of trespass. And upon the flesh of men, your wrath abides until the great day of judgment. So I beg you, leave me a posterity on the earth. Do not destroy all flesh and make the earth without inhabitant. Do not make an eternal destruction. Destroy from the earth the flesh that has provoked your wrath, but establish the flesh of righteousness and uprightness as an eternal seed. Do not hide your face from the prayer of your servant." That was the first vision, a terrifying glimpse into the potential for annihilation. And then I saw another dream, one that unfolded like a long film of the world's entire history, a sweeping panorama of the ages yet to come. And I will show you the whole dream, my son, so that you may understand the weight of our responsibilities and the path we must follow. The second vision, the animals, the stars, and the flood. Before I took your mother, Edna, as my wife, I lay on my bed, and the vision opened, pulling me into its embrace. I saw a bull come forth from the earth, white and music strong, a symbol of purity and power. Then a heifer appeared, a gentle counterpart to the mighty bull, representing fertility and nurture. After her came two bulls, one black music and one red, their contrasting colors hinting at the conflicts and divisions that would plague humanity. The black bull attacked. He gored the red one, driving his horns into his flesh, and chased him across the earth until the red bull vanished from my sight, swallowed by the vastness of the world. The black bull grew in power, his dominance unchallenged. The heifers stayed with him, drawn to his strength. And soon many oxmen came from them, offspring that resembled the black bull and followed him, their loyalty unquestioning. But the first cow, the heifer, grieved, her heart aching for the lost red bull. She wandered, searching for that lost red one, her sorrowful cries echoing across the land. She lamented with a great lamentation, her grief a palpable presence in the vision, until the first bull came to her and quieted her, his powerful presence offering solace, and her crying ceased, replaced by a fragile sense of peace. Then she bore another white bull, a beacon of hope amidst the growing darkness. And after him, many bulls and black cows, a complex tapestry of light and shadow, good and evil, intertwined in the fate of the world. I watched that new music white bull grow until he became a great white bull, his strength and purity radiating outwards. And from him came many white bulls like light multiplying after light, a lineage of righteousness stretching across the generations. They followed one another, generation after generation, their unwavering faith a guiding star in the darkness. Then something happened that made my spirit shudder, a chilling premonition of impending doom. I saw the heaven above and a star, music, fell, plummeting from the celestial heights to the earthly realm. It didn't simply fall and vanish, a fleeting spark extinguished in the void. It rose again, defying the natural order, moved among the oxen, and began to feed as though it belonged there, an alien presence corrupting the natural order. Then more stars descended, many, casting themselves down to that first star, drawn to its corruption. They became bulls among the cattle and grazed among them, mingling with the herd, their true nature masked beneath a deceptive facade. But these were not like the others, their actions betraying a dark and sinister purpose. They revealed themselves in shameful corruption, their deeds a stain upon the purity of creation, and they began to cover the cows. The cows became pregnant, their wombs violated, and what they birthed was monstrous, a grotesque perversion of life. Elephants, camels, and asses, creatures of power, weight, and violence. Their forms distorted, their spirits corrupted. The oxen feared them, sensing their unnatural nature and the threat they posed. The earth itself trembled, recoiling from their presence. Those monsters began to bite, devour, gore, then turn on each other, their savage instincts unleashed in a frenzy of destruction, until the whole world shook, and the earth cried aloud like a witness in court, bearing testimony to the horrors that had been unleashed. And then I looked up again, my gaze drawn back to the heavens. From heaven came beings like white men, radiant, music severe, unmoved, their faces impassive, their purpose unwavering. For came first, and with them three more, their arrival signaling a shift in the cosmic order. The three who came last seized me by the hand as if I were a child pulled from a burning house, rescuing me from the impending inferno. And they lifted me away from the generations of the earth, separating me from the unfolding drama. They set me on a high place, a vantage point overlooking the world, and showed me a tower rising above the world, a symbol of divine authority. And one said to me, "Remain here until you see everything that befalls these elephants, camels and asses, the stars and the oxen, all of it. Witness the unfolding of judgment." And I watched judgment begin, the consequences of corruption and transgression unfolding before my eyes. One of the four seized the first fallen star and bound it hand and foot, rendering it helpless, and threw it into an abyss, narrow, deep, horrible, dark, a pit of eternal torment. Another drew a sword, a weapon of divine justice, and gave it to the elephants, camels, and asses, empowering them to carry out the sentence. And they began to slaughter one another, their violence turned inward, their monstrous forms tearing each other apart in a gruesome spectacle. The earth quaked like it was breaking apart, as if the very foundations of creation were crumbling under the weight of sin. Then the others gathered the great stars, those that had corrupted themselves, and bound them hand and foot, and cast them into the abyss of the earth, condemning them to eternal darkness. But then the vision turned, offering a glimmer of hope amidst the devastation. One of the four went to the white bull and spoke to him in a secret without terrifying him, imparting a divine message of salvation. The bull became a man, transformed by the power of the divine word, and that man built a great vessel, a massive ark, an act of faith and obedience in the face of impending doom, and he lived upon it. 3 bulls entered with him, one white, one red as blood, one black, representing the diversity of life and the potential for redemption. And the vessel was sealed, protected by divine decree. Then I looked up again and saw a lofty roof with 7 torrents of water, a deluge of biblical proportions. They poured down into a great enclosure, a massive deluge unleashed upon the earth. Fountains broke open from beneath the earth, adding to the cataclysm, and the water rose, engulfing everything in its path. Darkness came with it, a suffocating shroud that blotted out the sun. Mist, a swelling flood that climbed higher than the enclosure until it streamed over it and covered the earth, obliterating all landmarks. Everything inside that enclosure, cattle, beasts, the monstrous creatures, was swallowed, succumbing to the relentless power of the flood. They sank, vanishing beneath the waves, their existence erased from the face of the earth. They vanished into the depths, claimed by the abyss. Only the vessel floated, a lone beacon of hope amidst the watery wasteland. Then the torrents were removed, their destructive force abated. The chasms of the earth were leveled, their gaping wounds healed, and other abysses opened, swallowing the waters back down, restoring balance to the world. The ground music appeared again, emerging from the depths, its surface scarred but not broken. Light returned, chasing away the darkness, a symbol of renewal and rebirth. The man came out of the vessel, the white bull who had become a man, transformed by divine grace, and the three with him, representing the survivors of the cataclysm. Then the white one departed from the others, embarking on a new path. And from that moment the world filled with new kinds of creatures, a fresh start for the animal kingdom. Lions, tigers, wolves, dogs, hyenas, boars, foxes, birds of prey, generation after generation, each species playing its part in the new ecosystem. And among them, a white bull was born again, a recurring symbol of hope and righteousness. From there, the vision kept unfolding like a long road through history, a continuous stream of events stretching towards the distant horizon. The sheep multiplied, their numbers growing, but wolves oppressed them, preying on their vulnerability. The Lord of the sheep descended, intervening on their behalf, a testament to his unwavering love. A sea split, allowing the sheep to escape their tormentors, a miraculous intervention. Wolves drowned, punished for their transgressions. The sheep wandered, searching for guidance and safety. Leaders rose and fell, their reigns marked by both justice and corruption. A house was built for the Lord, a place of worship and refuge. A tower was raised, a symbol of human ambition and the potential for hubris. Then the sheep strayed again, succumbing to temptation, and beasts devoured them, a recurring cycle of sin and punishment. I cried out because I could see the pattern, the relentless repetition of human folly. Rebellion, judgment, mercy, then rebellion again, a constant struggle between good and evil. I saw 70 shepherds appointed over the sheep, entrusted with their care, and many abused the flock, betraying their sacred duty, destroying more than was commanded, indulging in cruelty and self-interest. I saw records kept, meticulously written, sealed, read before the Lord of the sheep, holding all accountable for their actions. I saw a sword given to the sheep, empowering them to defend themselves, and the beasts fleeing, terrified by their newfound strength. I saw the earth split open under the Lord's wrath, swallowing the predators, a final act of judgment. Then I saw a throne set up in a pleasant land, a place of peace and justice, a realm of divine order. A new house was built, greater and loftier than the first, a testament to the enduring power of faith, and the flock gathered in it, united in their devotion. And I saw something that felt like the end of sorrow, a glimpse of eternal bliss. The sheep were all white, their wool clean, and their eyes opened, enlightened by divine wisdom. Every one of them, and there was not one among them who did not see, their vision clear, their understanding complete. Then a white bull was born with great horns, a symbol of ultimate power and righteousness, and all beasts and birds feared him, recognizing his divine authority. And finally, the generations were transformed, purified, and perfected, until they became white bulls, joining the lineage of righteousness. And I slept among them, finding peace and solace in their presence. Then I awoke, emerging from the dream, and when I opened my eyes in the real world, my son, I wept, overwhelmed by the weight of what I had witnessed. I blessed the Lord of righteousness and gave him glory, acknowledging his unwavering justice and mercy. But my tears would not stop because I had seen what must be fulfilled, the unfolding of destiny. Every deed was shown to me in order, a comprehensive vision of the ages to come. And that night, I remembered the first dream again, the terrifying vision of the earth's collapse. And I wept even more, the tears flowing freely, because I had seen the vision, the dual nature of our existence, the potential for both destruction and redemption. Enoch, Book 5, the Epistle of Enoch, Chapter 1. The guidance of Enoch. And now, my son Methuselah, call to me all thy brothers, and gather together to me all the sons of thy mother. For the word calls me, and the Spirit is poured out upon me, that I may show you everything that shall befall you forever, imparting the wisdom I have gained. Thereupon Methuselah went and summoned to him all his brothers and assembled his relatives, gathering them together in anticipation of my words. And he spake unto all the children of righteousness, and said, Hear ye sons of Enoch, all the words of your father, and hearken aright to the voice of my mouth. For I exhort you and say unto you, Beloved, love uprightness, and walk therein, embracing virtue as your guiding principle. Music. Draw not nigh to uprightness with a double heart, and associate not with those of a double heart, but walk in righteousness, my sons, and it shall guide you on good paths, and righteousness shall be your companion, a steadfast ally in the journey of life. For I know that violence must increase on the earth, and a great chastisement be executed on the earth, and all unrighteousness come to an end, the inevitable consequences of sin. Yea, it shall be cut off from its roots, and its whole structure be destroyed, and unrighteousness shall again be consummated on the earth, a final crescendo of wickedness. And all the deeds of unrighteousness and of violence and transgression shall prevail in a twofold degree, their intensity amplified. And when sin and unrighteousness and blasphemy and violence in all kinds of deeds increase, and apostasy and transgression and uncleanness increase, a great chastisement shall come from heaven upon all these, and the Holy Lord will come forth with wrath and chastisement to execute judgment on earth, the inevitable reckoning for human depravity. In those days violence shall be cut off from its roots, and the roots of unrighteousness together with deceit shall be destroyed from under heaven, and all the idols of the heathen shall be abandoned, false gods cast aside, and the temples burned with fire, and they shall remove them from the whole earth, purging the world of idolatry. And they shall be cast into the judgment of fire, and shall perish in wrath and grievous judgment forever, their false power extinguished. And the righteous shall arise from their sleep, awakened to a new era of enlightenment, and wisdom shall arise and be given unto them, bestowed upon those who have remained true. And after that, the roots of unrighteousness shall be cut off, and the sinners shall be destroyed by the sword, and the blasphemers destroyed in every place, their voices silenced forever. And those who plan violence, and those who commit blasphemy shall perish by the sword, their wickedness brought to an end. And now I tell you, my sons, and show you the paths of righteousness and the paths of violence, revealing the choices that lie before you. Yea, I will show them to you again, that ye may know what will come to pass, so that you may be prepared for the challenges ahead. And now listen to me, my sons, and walk in the paths of righteousness, embracing virtue and truth, and walk not in the paths of violence, avoiding the allure of sin and destruction. For all who walk in the paths of unrighteousness shall perish forever, their souls lost to the darkness. Chapter 2. Wisdom of Enoch. The book written by Enoch. Enoch indeed wrote this complete doctrine of wisdom, preserving the knowledge for future generations. Praised of all men and a judge of all the earth, for all my children who shall dwell on the earth, and for the future generations who shall observe uprightness and peace, guiding them towards virtue and harmony. Let not your spirit be troubled on account of the times, for the Holy and Great One has appointed days for all things, his divine plan unfolding according to his will. And the righteous one shall arise from sleep, shall arise and walk in the paths of righteousness, embracing virtue and truth, and all his path and conversation shall be in eternal goodness and grace, a beacon of light in the darkness. He will be gracious to the righteous and give him eternal uprightness, rewarding those who remain true to his teachings. And he will bestow upon him a power that resonates with goodness and righteousness, an inner strength to navigate the trials ahead. He shall walk in the eternal light, bathed in its unending radiance, and sin shall find its demise, banished to the deepest, darkest abyss, never to be seen again from that day forward, for all eternity. And after these pronouncements, Enoch both shared and began to elaborate on the teachings from the sacred books. And Enoch said, concerning the children of righteousness, those pure souls destined for greatness, and concerning the elect of the world, those chosen to illuminate the path for others, and concerning the plant of uprightness, the seed of virtue that will blossom into a righteous future, I will speak these things. Yea, I, Enoch, will declare unto you, my sons, according to that which appeared to me in the heavenly vision, a glimpse into the divine tapestry, and which I have known through the word of the holy angels, messengers of truth and grace, and have gleaned from the heavenly tablets, etched with the wisdom of the ages. And Enoch commenced to recount from the ancient books, his voice resonating with the weight of prophecy, and said, I was born the 7th in the first week, a time when judgment and righteousness still held sway, a golden age of virtue. And after me there shall arise in the second week great wickedness, a shadow falling upon the land, and deceit shall have sprung up, poisoning the hearts of men, and in it there shall be the first end, a cataclysmic event that will reshape the world, and in it a man shall be saved, a beacon of hope amidst the devastation, and after it is ended unrighteousness shall grow up, like a noxious weed choking the land, and a law shall be made for the sinners, a feeble attempt to restrain the encroaching darkness. And after that, in the third week at its close, a man shall be elected as the plant of righteous judgment, a steward of justice and truth, and his posterity shall become the plant of righteousness forevermore, a lineage of virtue that will endure through the ages. And after that, in the fourth week at its close, visions of the holy and righteous shall be seen, glimpses of the divine realm, and a law for all generations, a guiding principle for humanity, and an enclosure shall be made for them, a sanctuary of peace and righteousness. And after that, in the fifth week at its close, the house of glory and dominion shall be built forever, a testament to the enduring power of righteousness, a beacon of hope for all. And after that, in the sixth week, all who live in it shall be blinded, their spiritual sight clouded by wickedness, and the hearts of all of them shall godlessly forsake wisdom, turning away from the path of enlightenment. And in it a man shall ascend, a figure of ambition and pride, and at its close the house of dominion shall be burnt with fire, a fiery judgment upon their transgressions, and the whole race of the chosen root shall be dispersed, scattered to the winds like seeds of destruction. And after that, in the seventh week, shall an apostate generation arise, turning away from the true path, and many shall be its deeds, and all its deeds shall be apostate, a time of great tribulation and spiritual darkness. And at its close shall be elected the elect righteous of the eternal plant of righteousness, those chosen to uphold the light, to receive sevenfold instruction concerning all his creation, a profound understanding of the divine design. For who is there of all the children of men that is able to hear the voice of the Holy One without being troubled? Who can bear the weight of divine truth? And who can think his thoughts? And who can behold all the works of heaven, the boundless expanse of creation? And how should there be one who could behold the heaven and understand the things of heaven, or see a soul or spirit and tell thereof, or ascend and see all their ends? Such knowledge is beyond mortal grasp. And now I say unto you, my sons, love righteousness and walk therein, for the paths of righteousness are worthy of acceptation, leading to eternal life and fulfillment. But the paths of unrighteousness shall suddenly be destroyed and vanish, leaving only emptiness and despair. And now I say unto you, the righteous, walk not in the paths of wickedness, nor in the paths of death, and draw not nigh to them, lest ye be destroyed, for evil is a consuming fire. But seek and choose for yourselves righteousness and an elect life, a life dedicated to virtue and truth, and walk in the paths of peace, and ye shall live and prosper, finding joy and abundance in the divine grace. Chapter 3 The Wisdom of Enoch. Believe ye righteous, that the sinners will become ashamed and perish in the day of unrighteousness, their wickedness exposed for all to see. Be it known unto you that the Most High is mindful of your destruction, and the angels of heaven rejoice over your destruction, for justice shall prevail. What will ye do, ye sinners? And whither will ye flee on that day of judgment, when ye hear the voice of the prayer of the righteous, rising like a beacon in the darkness? Yea, ye shall fare like unto them against whom this word shall be a testimony, a testament to your wickedness. Ye have been companions of sinners, sharing in their transgressions. And in those days the prayer of the righteous shall reach unto the Lord, ascending to the heavens like incense. And for you the days of your judgment shall come, swift and inevitable. And all the words of your unrighteousness shall be read out before the great Holy One, a public reckoning of your sins. And your faces shall be covered with shame, a mark of your disgrace. And he will reject every work which is grounded on unrighteousness, for only virtue can endure. Woe to you, ye sinners who live on the mid-ocean and on the dry land, whose remembrance is evil against you, your legacy tainted by wickedness. Woe to you who acquire silver and gold in unrighteousness and say, we have become rich with riches and have possessions and have acquired everything we have desired. And now let us do what we purposed. For we have gathered silver, and many are the husbandmen in our houses, and our granaries are full as with water. Yea, and like water your lies shall flow away, vanishing without a trace. For your riches shall not abide, but speedily ascend from you. For ye have acquired it all in unrighteousness, and ye shall be given over to a great curse, a burden of sorrow and regret. And now I swear unto you, to the wise and to the foolish, a solemn oath to all. For ye shall have manifold experiences on the earth, both joys and sorrows, triumphs and tribulations. For ye men shall put on more adornments than a woman, and colored garments more than a virgin, indulging in vanity and excess, in royalty and in grandeur and in power, and in silver and in gold, gold and in purple, and in splendor and in food, they shall be poured out as water, squandered without thought or restraint. Therefore they shall be wanting in doctrine and wisdom, lacking the true understanding of life, and they shall perish thereby together with their possessions, and with all their glory and their splendor, in shame and in slaughter, and in great destitution, their spirits shall be cast into the furnace of fire, a fiery torment for their wickedness. I have sworn unto you, ye sinners, as a mountain has not become a slave, and a hill does not become the handmaid of a woman, an immutable truth. Even so, sin has not been sent upon the earth, but man of himself has created it, and under a great curse shall they fall who commit it, a self-inflicted wound. And barrenness has not been given to the woman, but on account of the deeds of her own hands, she dies without children, a consequence of her choices. I have sworn unto you, ye sinners, by the Holy Great One, that all your evil deeds are revealed in the heavens, and that none of your deeds of oppression are covered and hidden, for nothing escapes the divine gaze. And do not think in your spirit, nor say in your heart, that ye do not know, and that ye do not see, that every sin is every day recorded in heaven in the presence of the Most High, an eternal ledger of your transgressions. From henceforth ye know that all your oppression wherewith ye oppress is written down every day till the day of your judgment, a weight of guilt that will crush you in the end. Woe to you, ye fools, for through your folly shall ye perish, and ye transgress against the wise, and so good hap shall not be your portion. For wisdom is the key to salvation. And now know ye that ye are prepared for the day of destruction, the inevitable reckoning for your sins. Wherefore do not hope to live, ye sinners, but ye shall depart and die, for ye know no ransom, having rejected the path of righteousness. For ye are prepared for the day of the great judgment, for the day of tribulation and great shame for your spirits, a torment that will last for eternity. Woe to you, ye obstinate of heart, who work wickedness and eat blood, delighting in cruelty and violence. Whence have ye good things to eat and to drink and to be filled? From all the good things which the Lord the Most High has placed in abundance on the earth, gifts you have taken for granted. Therefore ye shall have no peace, for your souls are restless and tormented. Wherefore do ye hope for good hap unto yourselves? Know that ye shall be delivered into the hands of the righteous, and they shall cut off your necks and slay you and have no mercy upon you, for justice must be served. Woe to you who rejoice in the tribulation of the righteous, for no grave shall be dug for you, your memory erased from the annals of time. Woe to you who said it not the words of the righteous, for ye shall have no hope of life, having rejected the path to salvation. Woe to you who write down lying and godless words, spreading falsehood and deceit. For they write down their lies that men may hear them and act godlessly towards neighbors, poisoning the minds of others. Therefore, they shall have no peace, but die a sudden death, their end swift and unexpected. Woe to you who work godlessness and glory in lying, and extol them. Ye shall perish, and no happy life shall be yours, for your souls are stained beyond redemption. Woe to them who pervert the words of uprightness and transgress the eternal law and transform themselves into what they were not, into sinners, corrupting their own nature. They shall be trodden underfoot upon the earth, their fate sealed by their wickedness. In those days make ready, ye righteous, to raise your prayers as a memorial, and place them as a testimony before the angels, that they may place the sin of the sinners for a memorial before the Most High, a plea for justice and divine intervention. In those days the nations shall be stirred up, and the families of the nations shall arise on the day of destruction, a chaotic upheaval that will shake the foundations of the world. And in those days the destitute shall go forth and carry off their children, and they shall abandon them, so that their children shall perish through them, a tragic consequence of their desperation. Yea, they shall abandon their children's sucklings, and not return to them, and shall have no pity on their beloved ones, their hearts hardened by suffering. And again I swear to you, ye sinners, that sin is prepared for a day of unceasing bloodshed, a river of violence flowing through the land. And they who worship stones and grave images of gold and silver and wood and clay, turning away from the true God. And those who worship impure spirits and demons and all kinds of idols not according to knowledge shall get no manner of help from them, their false gods offering no solace. And they shall become godless by reason of the folly of their hearts, blinded by their own ignorance. And their eyes shall be blinded through the fear of their hearts and through visions in their dreams, haunted by their own transgressions. Through these they shall become godless and fearful, trapped in a cycle of despair. For they shall have wrought all their work in a lie, and shall have worshipped a stone, placing their faith in inanimate objects. Therefore, in an instant shall they perish, their idols crumbling to dust. But in those days, blessed are all they who accept the words of wisdom and understand them and observe the paths of the Most High and walk in the path of his righteousness and become not godless with the godless, for they shall be saved, finding solace and redemption in the divine grace. Woe to you who spread evil to your neighbors, for you shall be slain in Sheol, condemned to eternal darkness. Woe to you who make deceitful and false measures and who cause bitterness on the earth, for they shall thereby be utterly consumed, their wickedness turned against them. Woe to you who build your houses through the grievous toil of others, and all their building materials are the bricks and stones of sin, their wealth acquired through exploitation. I tell you, ye shall have no peace. Woe to them who reject the measure and eternal heritage of their fathers, and whose souls follow after idols, for they shall have no rest, their spirits forever wandering. Woe to them who work unrighteousness and help oppression and slay their neighbors until the day of the great judgment. For he shall cast down your glory and bring affliction on your hearts, and shall arouse his fierce indignation and destroy you all with the sword, a fiery punishment for your transgressions. And all the holy and righteous shall remember your sins, a testament to your wickedness. And in those days, in one place, the fathers together with their sons shall be smitten, a tragic scene of devastation, and brothers one with another shall fall in death till the streams flow with their blood, a river of carnage. For a man shall not withhold his hand from slaying his sons and his sons' sons, their bonds of kinship shattered by violence. And the sinner shall not withhold his hand from his honored brother, betraying the ties of blood. From dawn till sunset they shall slay one another, their hearts consumed by hatred. And the horse shall walk up to the breast in the blood of sinners, and the chariot shall be submerged to its height, a gruesome testament to the scale of destruction. In those days, the angels shall descend into the secret places and gathered together into one place, assembling the forces of righteousness, all those who brought down sin, and the Most High will arise on that day of judgment to execute great judgment amongst sinners, a divine reckoning for their transgressions. And over all the righteous and holy, he will appoint guardians from amongst the holy angels to guard them as the apple of an eye until he makes an end of all wickedness and all sin, protecting them from the encroaching darkness. And though the righteous sleep a long sleep, they have not to fear, for their souls are safe in the hands of the divine. And the children of the earth shall see the wise insecurity and shall understand all the words of this book and recognize that their riches shall not be able to save them in the overthrow of their sins, their material possessions offering no protection. Woe to you sinners on the day of strong anguish, a time of great suffering and tribulation. Ye who afflict the righteous and burn them with fire, your cruelty will be repaid in kind. Ye shall be requited according to your works, a just and fitting punishment for your transgressions. Woe to you, ye obstinate of heart, who watch in order to devise wickedness, plotting and scheming in the shadows. Therefore shall fear come upon you, and there shall be none to help you, for your sins have alienated you from divine grace. Woe to you, ye sinners, on account of the words of your mouth and on account of the deeds of your hands which your godlessness has wrought, your actions betraying your corrupted hearts. In blazing flames burning worse than fire shall ye burn, a fiery torment for your wickedness. And now know ye that from the angels he will inquire as to your deeds in heaven. holding you accountable for your actions on earth, from the sun and from the moon, and from the stars in reference to your sins, the cosmos itself bearing witness against you. Because upon the earth ye execute judgment on the righteous, persecuting the virtuous and innocent. And he will summon to testify against you every cloud and mist and dew and rain, the elements themselves rising up to condemn you. For they shall all be withheld because of you from descending upon you, and they shall be mindful of your sins, the natural world turning against you. And now give presents to the rain that it be not withheld from descending upon you, appeasing the heavens with righteousness. Nor yet the dew when it has received gold and silver from you that it may descend, a futile attempt to bribe the divine. When the frost and snow with their chilliness and all the snowstorms with all their plagues fall upon you in those days, you shall not be able to stand before them, overwhelmed by the forces of nature. Chapter 4. Wisdom of Enoch. Observe the heaven, ye children of heaven, and every work of the Most High, and fear ye him, and work no evil in his presence. For he sees all and knows all. If he closes the windows of heaven, and withholds the rain and the dew from descending on the earth on your account, what will you do then? How will you survive without divine grace? And if he sends his anger upon you because of your deeds, you cannot petition him, for your sins have severed the connection. For ye spake proud and insolent words against his righteousness, blaspheming against the divine. Therefore ye shall have no peace, your souls forever restless. And see ye not the sailors of the ships, how their ships are tossed to and fro by the waves, and are shaken by the winds, and are in sore trouble, their lives hanging by a thread? And therefore do they fear, because all their goodly possessions go into the sea with them, their material wealth offering no security. And they have evil forebodings of heart that the sea will swallow them and they will perish therein, a watery grave for their earthly ambitions. Are not the entire sea and all its waters and all its movements the work of the Most High? And has he not set limits to its doings and confined it throughout by the sand? Does he not control the very oceans? And at his reproof it is afraid and dries up, and all its fish die and all that is in it, the power of the divine undeniable. But ye sinners that are on the earth, fear him not, oblivious to the divine power. Has he not made the heaven and the earth, and all that is therein, creating the world in all its splendor? Who has given understanding and wisdom to everything that moves on the earth and in the sea, imbuing all of creation with intelligence and purpose? Do not the sailors of the ships fear the sea? Yet sinners fear not the Most High, a perplexing contradiction. In those days when he hath brought a grievous fire upon you, whither will ye flee, and where will ye find deliverance, when the divine wrath is unleashed? And when he launches forth his word against you, will ye not be affrighted in fear, trembling before the power of his voice? And all the luminaries shall be affrighted with great fear, and all the earth shall be affrighted and tremble and be alarmed, the very cosmos shaking in anticipation of the divine judgment. And all the angels shall execute their commands, and shall seek to hide themselves from the presence of the great glory, even the heavenly beings humbled by the divine power. And the children of earth shall tremble and quake, their hearts filled with dread. And ye sinners shall be cursed forever, and ye shall have no peace, your fate sealed by your wickedness. Fear ye not, ye souls of the righteous, and be hopeful, ye that have died in righteousness, your virtue a shield against the darkness. And grieve not if your soul into Sheol has descended in grief, and that in your life your body fared not according to your goodness, for your suffering will not be in vain. But wait for the day of the judgment of sinners, and for the day of cursing and chastisement, when justice will finally be served. And yet when ye die, the sinners speak over you. As we die, so die the righteous. And what benefit do they reap for their deeds? Behold, even as we, so do they die in grief and darkness. And what have they more than we? From henceforth we are equal. And what will they receive? And what will they see forever? Behold, they too have died. And henceforth forever shall they see no light. I tell you, ye sinners, ye are content to eat and drink and rob and sin and strip men naked and acquire wealth and see good days, indulging in earthly pleasures. Have ye seen the righteous how their end falls out? That no manner of violence is found in them till their death, living lives of peace and integrity. Nevertheless, They perished and became as though they had not been, and their spirits descended into Sheol in tribulation, their earthly existence seemingly forgotten. Chapter 5. Wisdom of Enoch. Another book which Enoch wrote for his son Methuselah, and for those who will come after him, and keep the law in the last days, a guide for future generations. Ye who have done good shall wait for those days till an end is made of those who work evil, and an end of the might of the transgressors, for justice will eventually prevail. And wait ye indeed till sin has passed away, for its reign is temporary. For their name shall be blotted out of the book of life and out of the holy books, and their seed shall be destroyed forever, their legacy erased from existence. And their spirits shall be slain, their very essence extinguished. And they shall cry and make lamentation in a place that is a chaotic wilderness, and in the fire shall they burn, for there is no earth there, a place of eternal torment. And I saw there something like an invisible cloud, an ethereal expanse of darkness. For by reason of its depth, I could not look over, its mysteries unfathomable. And I saw a flame of fire blazing brightly, and things like shining mountains circling and sweeping to and fro, a vision of both destruction and divine power. And I asked one of the holy angels who was with me, and said unto him, What is this shining thing? For it is not a heaven, but only the flame of a blazing fire, and the voice of weeping, and crying, and lamentation, and strong pain. And he said unto me, This place which thou seest, here are cast the spirits of sinners and blasphemers, and of those who work wickedness, and of those who pervert everything that the Lord hath spoken through the mouth of the prophets, the things that shall be. For some of them are written and inscribed above in the heaven, in order that the angels may read them and know that which shall befall the sinners and the spirits of the humble, and of those who have afflicted their bodies and been recompensed by God, and of those who have been put to shame by wicked men who love God and love neither gold nor silver, nor any of the good things which are in the world, but gave over their bodies to torture. Who, since they came into being, longed not after earthly food, but regarded everything as a passing breath, and lived accordingly. And the Lord tried them much, and their spirits were found pure, so that they should bless his name. And all the blessings destined for them I have recounted in the books. And he hath assigned them their recompense, because they have been found to be such as loved heaven more than their life in the world. And though they were trodden under foot of wicked men and experienced abuse and reviling from them and were put to shame, yet they blessed me, their faith unwavering in the face of adversity. And now I will summon the spirits of the good who belong to the generation of light. And I will transform those who were born in darkness, who in the flesh were not recompensed with such honor as their faithfulness deserved. And I will bring forth in shining light those who have loved my holy name. And I will seat each on the throne of his honor, and they shall be resplendent for times without number. For righteousness is the judgment of God. For to the faithful he will give faithfulness in the habitation of upright paths. And they shall see those who were born in darkness led into darkness, while the righteous shall be resplendent, and the sinners shall cry aloud and see them resplendent. And they indeed will go where days and seasons are prescribed for them, each receiving their just reward. Chapter 6. Revelation of Enoch. I solemnly swear to you that in the celestial realms the angels hold you in their remembrance. They remember you for the good you have done before the radiant glory of the Great One. Your very names are inscribed and cherished before his magnificent presence. Let hope fill your hearts, for though you have endured periods of shame, brought on by hardship and suffering, those times are ending. But now a transformation awaits you. You shall shine with a brilliance akin to the lights of heaven, radiant and unmistakable. You shall shine forth, and your presence will be recognized. The very gates of heaven shall swing open to welcome you. And in your supplications, in your cries for justice, judgment shall be made manifest. For all the tribulations you have suffered shall be visited upon the rulers who oppressed you, and upon all those who aided and abetted those who plundered you. They will face the consequences of their actions. Be steadfast in hope, and never relinquish your dreams, for a joy beyond measure awaits you, a joy akin to that experienced by the angels of heaven themselves. What, then, shall be your responsibilities? You shall not need to cower or hide on the day of the great judgment. You shall not be counted among the sinners, for your righteousness will be your shield. And the eternal judgment shall remain distant from you, for all generations to come. Therefore fear not, you righteous ones, when you witness the sinners growing in power and prosperity, and succeeding in their wicked ways. Do not become entangled with them, but maintain a safe distance from their violence and corruption. For you are destined to become companions of the heavenly hosts. And even if the sinners delude themselves, believing that their transgressions will remain hidden and unrecorded, know this: every single sin will be meticulously written down, each and every day. And now, I reveal to you the interplay of light and darkness, day and night. Behold all your sins. Reflect upon them, and strive to turn away from them. Do not harbor godless thoughts in your hearts. Do not engage in lies, nor distort the words of truth and uprightness. Do not accuse the words of the Holy Great One of falsehood, nor give credence to your idols. For all your deceit and godlessness will lead not to righteousness, but to profound sin. And now, I unveil a hidden mystery, that sinners will deliberately alter and corrupt the words of righteousness in countless ways. They will utter wicked words, engage in falsehoods, practice elaborate deceptions, and even author books filled with their perversions of the truth. But when they faithfully record all my words in their languages, without changing or diminishing anything, when they transcribe everything I initially testified concerning them, then I know another mystery: that books will be bestowed upon the righteous and the wise, becoming a source of immeasurable joy, promoting uprightness, and fostering great wisdom. And to them, these sacred books shall be entrusted, and they shall place their faith in them, rejoicing in their truth. And then, all the righteous who have strayed from the paths of uprightness will be fully recompensed for their devotion. In those days, the Lord commanded to summon and testify to the children of earth, sharing with them the gift of wisdom. Show them the way, for you are their guides, and you are the recompense over the entire earth. For I and my Son will be united with them forever, walking together on the paths of uprightness throughout their lives. And you shall experience peace. Rejoice, you children of uprightness.